Hello, and this time we
Hi all.
are. Yes, sound works. Yeah, good. Hello, and welcome everyone. Pizza has been eaten, so we can finally do some uh, actual actual things.
Not like 3 hours late this time.
Yeah, I was also in the
Was it four?
wrong scene, but like, okay, now it's good. Now you can also see Antti and Jeff. Yeah, I had frozen pizza, so now it wasn't late. So
Safe choice.
yeah, safe choice. Only thing which could have been wrong was that like my oven wouldn't work, but like, yeah, it didn't explode or anything. So like, yeah, I got my pizza and I've
Did
eaten
you
it
actually
and
get any compensation last time because it came so late?
nope. And I will not contact them anymore because that was compensation pizza that I got late. So yeah, I don't.
Compensation for compensation.
Yeah, that will go too crazy. So yeah, nope. But yeah,
The
no,
guy
the
who was bringing it was really angry, right? I remember you said that.
yeah. Like I called them and they were like, the pizza is on their way. Like I was like, what? I ordered it like what 5-6 hours ago. So how can you like shout at me in the on the phone when I tried to like ask for it? Like where is it? Yeah. But yeah, we have eaten, so now we can concentrate on like core topics and stuff like that. So yeah, welcome everyone to second Go Jam. I hope we
Well,
get enough people than we got last time. Last time was like a great success. We had like over 100 people. Also, like thanks to EGF rating us after their stream, so that also affected a little bit. But yeah,
it was a tournament weekend that time, right?
yeah, it was the
Yeah, yeah,
Grand Prix final. So yeah,
yeah.
I guess many of the people were already like on Twitch watching the Grand Prix final. So yeah, that helped. But yeah, how
Or
was
it could have made it smaller because we
yeah
had competition, right?
yeah. At least we tried to be bigger. I don't know if we were,
Mm.
probably not. Hello, Sveku. Yeah. So how is life? We have been like, away 3 weeks now. So how's life in Japan and in Vantaa and in
Ah,
Espoo? It is good.
yeah.
How's Jeff?
Nothing
Same old?
special.
Nothing
Yeah,
special.
I might not nothing special. I just keep working as usual. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a little bit of a busier time since last time, I guess. So I had two tournament games. I had one on this Monday. I had one last Thursday,
Mhm.
and I was
Mhm,
just staying in Tokyo for the whole time.
Right.
mhm.
So how's your
And
tournament
I'm not
games?
sure if sorry.
How was your tournament games? Or
So it was a 1-1. I lost to Shibano's older brother,
Mhm.
Yunosuke.
Mm.
But then I beat my first nine dan actually. So yay!
Ooh, nice, strong.
Not anybody too famous, but not too unfamous either.
Right,
Yes.
that's nice.
So
And I
I
guess
think I was there for 6 nights altogether in Tokyo. I mean.
right.
And it just happened that I don't know if you read it from the news. It actually made the European news as well. But there was a pretty big earthquake on Saturday,
Yeah.
Right, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
like a magnitude 7 or something. And
Oof.
it was basically big enough that a train connection from my hometown to Tokyo, which is like 300 kilometers, that train connection is broken. It's still broken.
Wow.
So there's no way to ride a train from my city to Tokyo.
So it took a bus or something? Or
Yeah, so basically on Monday, when my game finished, the traffic was just way too congested, so I couldn't come back. So I just took one more hotel night,
Mhm.
and I booked a bus for Tuesday morning,
Right.
which was like 6 or 7 hours.
Okay,
Yes, but then finally it worked.
nice. And I
It
guess
happened.
the nine game we might have like that one today to look at. So
Yeah, just in case we don't have more interesting stuff to look at,
yeah,
probably towards the end of the stream, we can have a look at that.
yeah. But yeah, in the beginning we can put some Tsumeko again to start the stream
Yeah,
Sure.
and then refresh our brains.
I don't have a silly one like from the one we had last time was really silly.
Right. Well, this looks like a mirror go or something.
Well, this is just two problems. I guess I should mark them down.
Mm.
Yeah.
One and problem 2.
Yeah,
Because
very
there are-
similar. Only one difference.
Yes, so they're just variants of the same base shape, right? And this will come up in some other topic that I have prepared for later today. So this is kind of preparation. So when we are going into theoretical content, we don't need to look at this reading part anymore, hopefully.
Right. Oh, I didn't post to Discord. I will do that now.
Oh,
Uh,
good idea, yeah.
oh, hello, Dave. Welcome.
Very good for, huh? The chicks are coming in.
Welcome everyone. Welcome the 4 chickens. I'm just posting to Discord. I forgot. So like.
That video is too good.
Yeah, it's like what is it like? Jurassic Park together with some chickens.
Ah, wait, is that emote a new one also? I didn't see that before. The one that's in love.
You can modify your emotes by like using channel points. Like if you have, is it 900? Yeah, if you have 900 channel points, you can press the channel point icon on top of, like below the chat, and then
Click to claim a bonus.
click the modify single emote, and then you can put like some things like glasses on the.
I just have 800 so far with the NGD. I need to wait for a bit more.
So you can do stuff like this.
I definitely need that in my life.
Right, yeah.
I need to rack up points now. Jeff is just listening. What's going on?
No, I'm working on Sumiko.
Yeah, like a good boy. Okay, yeah, so now it is in Discord, and should we post something to Nordic Closer also? Or that was also already there. Oh, thanks, Sirocco. Or how do you pronounce
So
your name?
Nordic page, there's already a post, and if there's one on, yeah. So Sirocco, Dusty did this one.
Maybe Kosem should be on cooking channel.
It's so true, actually. I
Yeah,
mean, the food server is just there's way too much conversation anyway.
yeah.
So we just do like a pizza with Mikko and I don't know, I had noodles today.
Yeah,
Jeff can give us some chicken recipes, maybe.
yeah. They need some jam
Oh yeah.
as a dessert.
Exactly, right?
Yeah, of course.
What's this link? XKCD. Hmm. Oh, I see.
Wait, XKCD.
Okay.
Yeah, nerd sniping.
So accurate.
Yeah, XKCD is awesome.
Okay.
So
Jeff already got both.
I believe so.
So this time they are normal after all.
They are no.
let me check then. Is the result the same or different in the two?
Is the result same or different?
I mean the outcome. Is the
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah. How can it not be?
Well, I mean, for example, if both of them lead into a seki, then we could say it's the same. But
Yeah.
if one dies clearly and the other one does not, then they're different.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need to be really careful here not to give any hints.
Yeah. I understand that.
So does chat have any idea of these two problems? So yeah, seems like there's only one stone difference, but I guess that creates a huge difference in.
I didn't pay attention. There's only one stone difference.
Two stone, well, one for both. So
Oh, okay. I never compared the two problems. I see. I just did.
All right, yeah,
it's
black has the
same
honey and white
shape.
has that one. Yeah, so one
Yeah.
exchange.
So it's the same shape, and let me just edit this quickly. So it just used to be this kind of a shape, right?
Right.
And then it's a question of if white plays the hanging connection,
Tiger connect. Yeah.
which leads to this one,
And the
or
other
if
one
white
is
connects here directly.
connects.
Yeah.
Right.
Tiger and connect. God.
Someone who believes he can live, or
But actually, I think maybe the numbering might be off here. I think problem number 2 is the easier one of the two, right?
Okay. To me, it's the other way around.
Really?
To me, it's the other. Yeah. Okay,
say
what did I do?
It's the
There
easier.
should be.
Well, anyway, let's. Mikko, do you have an idea for problem 2? Just even the first move is okay.
Well, I would start with S5, I guess. Looks like
That would
intuitive
be the key
point.
point, right?
Yeah, it looks like a key point.
So let's say, well, I will first try to connect here. It's not a very good resistance, but what happens if I do this?
I guess I have liberties to do like just T6.
Yeah, so you can just link the stone out, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you could maybe try to make it into an eye like this.
Yeah, but then that
I
one,
don't
and then
think
it's
which
not, then it's
eye.
unclear. Like,
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of reading. So since T6 over here is a stone, it's a move that just connects black on the first line.
Yeah.
It's the first one you want to think.
Uh-huh.
Well, basically, T8 is the same.
Yeah.
It should
Monkey
become the
jump.
same.
Yeah.
Monkey jump with diagonal. So what happens with this one? White can try to block black somehow, like this, like this.
But yeah, then he has like two like half eyes. So
Yeah, exactly. So this is just data.
yeah.
So the white connection just doesn't work. And I guess we just have one option in that case to block
Right.
here. And now what's going on?
And I say, what's going on? What? Siri answered.
Hey.
Siri didn't understand. Why Siri is answering to my everything?
Are you trying to play it?
No. I mean, we said something like, I mean, I say what's going on, and Siri answered on my phone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Siri, I say, what's going on?
Yeah. Like in the video, the compilation 2020, there's also the part, the longer video. There is a part where I say something like, "Are you serious?" And then Siri answers, "Did it?"
Seriously?
Yeah.
Okay, anybody in the chat? Like to play?
This is the most tricky answer, I guess. So yeah, do you have any ideas, chat?
I guess there's just one move that can work here, right?
Yes.
My thinking is that like we can play like, well, maybe I will wait for chat, but basically the same idea with the monkey jump.
Yeah, that's a good hint already. So I guess I might show, for example, that let's say if black tries to just remove the eye from here, so white will just attach here, right?
Yeah.
And actually, there's basically just nothing more to do anymore.
Yeah.
So in this scenario, either A or B will become a second eye for white. and there's no way to prevent it. A second idea might be to cut here and try to squeeze white. But
Yeah.
I guess, do we play Hane here?
Yeah,
And
that's work.
what can actually black try? This is still back to living here. And Atari doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
So basically, if we want to try to kill this, we need to be getting a bit more creative.
Oh, there's
Here to reduce. This used to be a good move for white, so it might make sense for you. But now white makes the eye bigger, right?
Yeah.
And black can cut here, but there's no way black's going to win this capturing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess chat got it right, or
T7. Yep.
yeah.
So we can play here, and with this move, black is again threatening to connect under, right?
And I can
So
at the same time
white is
just
forced to
removing
play
that.
here.
Yeah.
And so now black will have the time to take the key point, right?
Yeah.
I guess this is not even the only move that works. You can also play the Hane and go up.
Yeah, that should be clear enough. Yeah.
Yeah. This looks like a Seki, but it's totally not Seki because these stones will be in Atari eventually.
Yeah. Yeah.
So did we see all the variations for this problem? I think we did. Well, you could try as white to, you could try to make the eye as big as possible. What's this one? I guess this is the last sequence we need to have a look at.
Yeah, this is funny.
This is funny. Okay.
You can play even T7 immediately, but
Yeah.
cut here. So white's going to block here, and then play T7.
But the
white
T7 directly is funnier.
T7 directly?
Yeah, that's
sure.
funnier.
It works. It works.
Yeah. So either way, white's going to get captured first.
Yeah.
So that's the basic shape. Finally, the number was the other way around, but number 2 is the more basic of the shapes. And I guess we could say that since this way, black A becomes a kind of a key point, right? We could say that it directly hits the eye shape of the white group, and white doesn't really have a good way to resist it. Then it makes sense for white in the original shape here to not connect at A, because it creates the B point, right?
Yeah.
So then it can make sense to do something a little bit different to kind of alter the shape. And now there's no key point at A or the B5 that black can play anymore. So this becomes a totally new problem again.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just return here and remove the A. And problem 1. So Jeff, you don't think this one is more complicated?
Why to me it's simpler? To me it's simpler somehow. Okay.
So it means because there's less space, I guess.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah, I can understand
The
that.
two problems that I paid my attention on one first.
Yeah, like in one you are forced to think about something even more creative, kind of.
Is there any way I can make this complicated for Jeff? Let me try.
Any ideas, chat? What is the solution for this one?
There's no variation.
I'm actually starting to wonder if I got it right. I just heard the variation I didn't consider earlier.
Okay.
It's funny.
So why to connect there?
Hello, Alex. Groot. That is great combination with the hearts.
So I did misread it. That's funny. Well, Tsumego for me as well.
Nice.
Looking better. Okay, so let's do it this way. Jeff, can you show the answer?
Cut.
Yeah. It's kind of like the forced way to do, because you don't have anything
cut.
else. C5.
Cut.
Yeah, I said
Let's
cut.
put it
Yeah.
here.
Monkey jump. Wait. Okay, I'm too relaxed. Wait a moment.
So is this like a Saturday morning Tsumego here? Not really morning, but...
Oh, this one cannot do it.
Yeah.
Oh, this one cannot do it.
Right, Dave was also doing some Tsumeko.
Okay, this one cannot.
Yeah, I think number one here is a lot more difficult than two. That's
Okay, yeah, okay. So no, it's like that.
I also counted like the cut and then just turn, but that doesn't work.
That he was gonna take a6.
Yeah.
so
A6 will just
A5 becomes knight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But now I feel kind of bad. I tricked everybody, including myself. Well, if I trick myself, it's fine, I guess.
But you know that this is possible, right? Or
well, that's what I used to think. Let's say.
Okay.
Very hard problem.
Yes, very hard problem.
That was like in Taiwan that like we gave problem with Ilkka to some Taiwanese pros, and the problem was a little bit wrong because we didn't remember that there was a stone somewhere, and they were like thinking for a long time to the problem, like this is so hard, like how is this possible? They were like,
and then it's like, I'm missing one stone.
Oh yeah, we're missing one stone. We put that one, and immediately everyone knew how it was.
Yeah, but yeah, as far as problems go, actually, optimally there should be some dots from time to time. Because if you get stuck to the kind of thinking that there's always a solution, it doesn't really reflect what you do during a real game, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So, for example, if you know the type of the problem, it already limits your reading quite a bit.
Yeah, like browser says that maybe it's just black to play the best move. And this is really key.
Yeah, I mean that's always the problem, right? It's always to play the best move, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But I did trick myself here very well as well. So let's try it. If I play this b8, what happens?
Directly, right. Yeah, so now it becomes actual problem that we now have to solve. Is this even a problem or not?
Yep. So I will need to direct the discussion here a little bit.
Yeah, so chat, now you can like put everything in and help us solve this.
A7, so I will push here and I will take the key point.
7 is suicidal.
Yeah, A7 is just what black wants.
Comparing to A7, then it's better for white to directly play here, because this move limits white's eye shape a little bit, and this one doesn't add to it. It adds extremely limited.
Yeah, I guess A6 looks a little bit better. It was at least the key point last time, so.
Yes.
Yep, A6 here.
A6 of it.
So this is sent, and it kind of becomes a bench floor, right?
Yeah.
But it's not in the corner, so it's alive.
Yeah.
Okay. So we kind of saw that it's not this one, it's not this one. Most likely it just leaves us with monkey jumps, I think.
Yeah.
So if it's the direct monkey jump, I guess will white just bump? This seems kind of straightforward.
It works
Yeah, because it's going to be a4.
Yeah.
So most likely, just by this method of removing all the possibilities, we have just a7 left.
Yeah. Well, a7 was the key point in the last one, so maybe it is here also.
And this is also the move that it used to be the solution in my mind.
Used to be the solution.
Yes, until I read again. So
Okay.
sorry about that.
Okay, because I still don't see anything.
Yeah, exactly. So white might try this one, I guess.
Yeah.
Here.
Well,
And well, it's not trying, is it? It's just living.
yeah, nothing.
Yeah.
b6 for white.
B6 is this one.
Mm.
So this is not the Seki.
Yeah.
One second.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can just very crudely go for this, and that black can try anything, but doesn't work.
Mm.
The sequence I had in mind was that white needs to play this one. I wasn't considering a8, and I was thinking it needs to be here. And incidentally, a8 still works, but I thought white had to play here, and now it's a cove.
Right. Yeah.
So my reading was kind of inaccurate here. But actually, as far as the bottom line of this problem goes, I actually kind of like it, because it means that the very basic kind of move, like the A connection here, can actually be it looks normal, but you might just die because of it. Right?
Yeah. So to answer to chess question, who would play b4 and connect? Well, that's the way to live here. So I don't know if it's the best way to live. That seems to be.
There appears to be a second move, so white can also go down here.
Yeah.
And whether this one or the hanging connection is better is a pretty difficult question.
And it needs to be white. It needs to save this too. Maybe two black left, and that's my imagination.
Yeah, it's possible also that white might live like this, right?
Yeah. But here,
this just
it looks like
a smaller territory.
Yeah. But this looks like white need to save that stone. For example, black bottom group is not alive. That's what I'm trying to imagine. Yeah, and that is also reason Atari V refuse call. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's why the connection.
I think in this one, black peeps here, right?
And that's complicated. That's actually complicated. But with Tiger, we pass.
I think from what I checked, it was supposed to be like this, basically.
Yeah,
this
it
kind
passed.
of life.
Yeah.
So it leaves with a minimum of 3 points, but white does get this connection, which might create something at A, or it might not. So in a real game, it's still a difficult question. You need to consider black shape and how much territory you might get, and many different kinds of things. Go is difficult.
Yeah.
You got all these shapes, and still there's a right and wrong. And sometimes you just misread the problem, like I did here. But yeah, I'll just leave this here.
Yeah.
I think we had some leftover talk from last time, right? Should we try to start from there, or?
Yeah, about the at least we got like a very short answer to question why is Go a good hobby.
That was what it was. Huh?
But that was at least one, and then what was in the like we had some topics in the poster. So what were the ones we missed last time?
There was plenty of AI related stuff, like how to study with AI, and I don't actually have. Well, I can see it very quickly actually what the poster was like.
Because we kind of answered at least to that one.
How AI changed the Go world? Well, that one we didn't see too clearly. How professional Go players study today? Why is Go still a good hobby? How to study in the era of artificial intelligence? most likely the why is Go a good hobby is the most interesting one of these, and the one that we covered least. Why is Go a good hobby? Should we ask the audience?
Yeah. Why audience is playing Go?
Why do you play Go?
Yeah, why is it good hobby?
Because I mean, for some reason, I get this question always in my interviews as well. Why do you play Go? Why? Or isn't it bigger than life?
Like imagine any other sport like asking that, like for example skiing, that like why do you ski?
Why do you ski? Well, actually, they still probably ask it actually.
Yeah, probably do. But yeah, for me it has to do with the beautiful like simpleness and stuff like that. But more of it is just like, after all, I'm amateur, so like after it's like some game that I play with friends, and like it's after all a game and a very social one and stuff like that. So like casual kind of like a way to play is still there, but of course like I wouldn't play just some like Monopoly or something, so it has to be also something that I'm interested in. So why Go? Why not anything else? What is so unique about it? So
it would have to be skill based at least, right? Like for example, Monopoly. I guess you can get a little bit better at it, but I think you will stop pretty quickly improving, right?
There's
so much.
So that has very good point for Go, that you can improve kind of like endlessly. So is there like sense to be like a casual Go player then, or is like
what do you mean casual Go player?
Casual Go player, so that like because I've faced this problem sometimes in Go, like game evenings, that like there are players who don't want to be taught like after the game like what did they do wrong or something like that. They just want to play the game and have fun, and that's it, and they don't want to hear like stronger players to come and like teach them. So that's
that type as well, yeah.
Yeah, that is a little bit more rare, because I guess most of us who play Go have that one very big point about Go, that you can improve endlessly, and like that it actually like is very rewarding when you learn new things, and like you can like spend a lifetime learning the game and still don't know like everything. So
you keep on learning new things, and they will be different all the time. It's not like oh, here's new technique, I will just add this to my toolbox. And doing it until the end of time, basically. It's not like that. You need to actually change the way you think.
Simple rules, infinite depth, challenge, history, which my friend once described beyond parody.
But the type of player you mentioned is actually interesting. I've met quite a few of them. I mean, the one that doesn't want to be taught after the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if you like to sell this game for some person like that who doesn't want to be taught and just wants to play casually, and they just want to play a game or two, like your average random friend who doesn't play Go, then how would you sell the game?
What would you say? A big point against Go in that case is that it's incredibly abstract, right?
Yeah.
So there's like, for example, for chess, even just the fact that there's a king and there's a queen and bishops and horses, somehow it makes it feel more lively or lifelike, or I don't know what is the exact word, right? But
and it's
not just random stones which have no meaning.
Yeah, you can like kind of like relate to the pieces.
So to a horse and a rook.
Yeah, because it's kind of like describing the war, for example, like between two like sides, but
yeah. In Go, it's pretty hard to see what's actually going on in the game.
Yeah, it's not like anything related to real world. So compared to chess, every game is still so different. Chess feels kind of same-ish after a while. That's true, and like I was thinking,
the opening difference, right?
Yeah,
because like in Go you don't have to start from the same opening position.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's one very good thing. Yeah, because you can create kind of like your own war, but like in chess they just give you like this kind of war. Do this.
And then you just need to start demolishing what you have from the start. Also.
Yeah. And what Go players often say about like that they compare like chess rules and Go rules. That like Go rules are more simple and like it's so much quicker to like explain them, but that's not like how you learn games. Like at least personally, when I, for example, play some random board game, I don't read the rule book. I just want to play the first round and see how it goes. But for Go, it's so much harder because you have to play like 50 games and lose them to actually learn how it goes. So it's like chess is
what the game is like, right?
Yeah, you don't have a clear image, and like in chess, it's so clear what you have to do. You have to capture the king. That's it. That's the it's actually very simple. You just do that, and if you are able to do that, then you're a winner. But
right. So you know what you're supposed to do, and you can start basically working from that, right?
Yeah, but how do you imagine like Go if you don't have any like image in your head, like what is Go? Like how do you describe Go as simple as chess, that you have to just capture the king? Well, because if you say like, okay, I have to like just get more territory than your opponent, then how do you going to do that? Like how does it look like? Are you just going to like get pieces from the edge like and just like go one by one? Or do you gather them around? And
because that doesn't really address the problem. Because when you say you need to have more territory than the opponent, now you need to explain what territory is.
Yeah,
and it's still not obvious.
Yeah, how does territory look like? Yeah. And what happens if I go inside there? Like okay, like you say that okay, territory is like this.
Inside the opponent's territory. Now, is this any more territory or?
Yeah. And that is actually a hard question, and that's how many fights come in.
Territory is a very high-level concept. You cannot just explain it in 5 minutes. And that's how, when you teach the game to new players, you get them to the end game, and then they're like, do we still have to keep playing? They just have no idea what's going on, right?
Yeah.
Happened so many times.
So I would like to come up with some kind of like a way to show new people like how to play Go. And I like more I think about it, more it is like that it Go is very visual game, and you just have to experience it. And like
that is one way to go about it.
Yeah, and like I guess one way is to like show them a game. Like if you have like two people who know how to play Go, they can teach the third person by playing a game and like just explaining like okay, I go first to corners like this because it's easier to like surround territory here, and then we fight like this, and then we try to optimize the end game like this, and like that way. But it's not like so easy to explain as we think.
And then anyway, there's the problem that still the problem that if it's just you who has to learn the game, and you didn't have anybody to do it with and nobody to explain it, then it's tough, right?
Yeah.
And this will be the vast majority of new people who want to learn it from the internet.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So,
but you actually have an idea, for how to teach the game to beginners, and it's not too well documented yet, and I have not tried it too much, but I have taught maybe 200 people with it from 2 lectures, 100 people each. So basically, I didn't explain territory at all.
Interesting.
When I explained the game. So, of course, so I just started explaining from the capturing rule. So we played some capturing games. So I think, I don't remember exactly, but maybe we started with whoever captures the first stone wins the game.
Yeah, Atariko.
Yeah, and then I think at a slightly later point, it was just play until the end, and who has more captures wins it.
Yeah.
And then I did some little bit other kind of explaining for what Go is and where it came from and so on. And then I twisted it around, so it wasn't about capturing anymore. I say that instead, whoever has more more stones on the board wins.
Right.
So it's not whoever captures more, but it's who has more living. So it's just basically the same idea, but you can actually play the game until the end, and it makes sense.
Oh, that's basically Go. That's like Chinese rules.
Almost the same as almost the same as Chinese rules. The difference is just that you have the group tax. Basically, you cannot fill your own eyes from your group.
Right. Yeah.
But besides that factor, it's exactly the same.
Yeah.
And if you explain it that way, then as long as you can keep on placing stones on the board, then you want to keep adding stones, right?
Yeah.
And then it just goes into the scoring part, basically.
Yeah, in some point, like when you are already filling your own territory, then you can just stop and like count the points. You don't have to like fill them.
If you want to, you can stop the game at any point. You can just count the stones that currently exist on the board.
Yeah.
I guess if you have an opponent and you actually care about winning, you will think about, but wait a second, why should we stop here when I can keep on adding stones to the board, right?
Yeah.
And basically, it should follow logically from there. I don't have an actual experience from teaching somebody up to, let's say, 10Q with this system, but I don't see why it wouldn't work.
Yeah, but that also like shows how complicated it is to actually teach Go, because it's not like you can just like tell like how pieces move and then just capture the king. It's not as simple. Like okay, the rules are simple, but it's not easy to understand.
It's not like you have these 10 moves and you choose from these all the time.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
It's more like at start you maybe have this 7x7 or 9x9 board and okay, 80 moves. Pick your favorite.
Yeah. Just watch Hikaru no Go and then that is a good way.
That might actually be the best one.
Yeah, just do anything that shows how like Go is, and you get some kind of like intuition how it works, and then you can like then you can start playing. And like I guess like watching Go would be nice way to start playing, but it's very hard to watch it. Like just people playing, because like if you don't understand anything what's going on, so
you don't learn it just by that. No, you don't learn by watching.
Yeah, so there should be someone always commenting on the games, like what is going to happen, and like on basic level, like
so, like some beginner channels or that kind of thing.
Yeah. It took me 4 years from learning the rules to playing the game for the first time. Oh, that's a long time.
Trying to have more stones living everywhere sounds like cockroach style. We will actually have a look at a cockroach style later today.
Yeah. But yeah, chat. Do you have any ideas? Like we missed many of the texts, but like you can post them again. If you have any ideas how to like describe Go or how to teach Go in a simple way. Because I guess like many of us want to like have more people playing Go, so like many of us also teach Go to different people, so it's beneficial to talk about this kind of stuff.
I think I inhaled every YouTube video about Go when I started.
yeah, that's one way. Yeah, to just see, and that's why I like the Hikaru no Go thing. So we need another Hikaru no Go kind of to get more people. That's one way for sure. Some fun way to look at Go and get like influence by Go and get like some kind of intuition just accidentally by watching some anime.
But there is actually the kind of problem also that once you know about Go and once you want to start learning it, where do you study it?
Yeah.
Like most likely you will find your way to the online Go server. Have you checked how the explanation for the game rules is there? Have you checked it?
Yeah.
It's pretty bad. It doesn't explain it.
Yeah. There's like hardly any like server which is very beginner like friendly.
Yeah.
So that's a problem.
OGS could do it, but that teaching section needs a lot of work. And I guess they don't really have the funds to have somebody actually do a good one there.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because I think it should be a very high priority.
we need Go in the West version of the Queen's Gambit. Yeah, the Queen's Gambit was like an inspiration to this topic. Also, I was thinking after watching Queen's Gambit, like how for example it was so like little that we saw the board on the like Queen's Gambit. Like we saw just like reactions how they played and like people around them like how they reacted to the board, but we rarely saw any like actual like things like we saw in Hikaru no Go. That like okay this kind of situation and yeah so like that's because like everyone knows how like chess looks like, so they don't have to like look at that one, and like it's also like if you go too much more deep into it, it's like it's just has the like problem of like they should make the situation so like good that like if someone who is playing chess can also enjoy. So like that's a hard one. Like they should have like more people to just like proofread kind of like the board positions, so it's easier to make a like a movie or series without paying too much attention to the like details.
Yeah, there. You don't really lose much by not doing the chess scenes exactly.
Yeah. I would have like enjoyed a little bit to have like a little bit more of like the board there, like to have like a little bit more like Hikaru no Go, to actually like have some kind of situation. So like, at least like they mentioned some openings or something and they showed something, but not enough in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Jeff, do you have ideas how to sell Go in the West?
That's my big part.
I'm just thinking here that China has a bit of a head start there, because Go is already part of culture in China. And it's also different. It's really different from Japan, which is also interesting, because Go in Japan is basically an old player's game, right? It's what you do when you retire and have nothing to do with your time. Just learn Go and spend the rest of your free time.
Like bingo.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like a Japanese bingo. But in China, on the other hand, Go is a kind of a thing that parents like to push their children, because I guess again it's because it kills the free time that the kids have, but at the same time it's also viewed as something that's good to do. Like it, I don't know, makes
it's valuable.
Stronger, or
it's valuable for the let's say partly the prospect of being a pro, because those pros are on TV and I will give you a speech. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that is one motivation. And the second motivation, there's like if you are not there, but you become somebody, let's say a top amateur, and there will be some kind of bonus points when you are taking the national exam to enter university.
Oh, really?
So there's extra points. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so there's also those, and also let's say there's of course the common sense as okay, you play Go well, then basically you wouldn't have a problem in school in math. As my best knowledge, it's the other way around. If you are good in math, then you are good in Go automatically. It's not like you are good at Go and that help you to study math. It's the other, but that's the parents' logic. Yeah. So,
well, it teaches some kind of like thinking at least, and like for sure it helps like in many of the fields, like if you learn more Go, but like you said, like it goes hand in hand. Like you usually also learn other things at the same time. It's not like you just learn Go and you are magically good at everything else.
Yeah, not that of course, but it does basically. Maybe most importantly, it kind of teaches you hard work, I guess, if you actually try to become stronger at Go, because it's not easy. You need to keep working at it.
Yeah.
Isn't Shang-Chi more popular than Wei-Chi? Is it?
Yes, but that is basically Chinese chess is something you don't have to learn. You just let's say I never learned Chinese chess. I just know how to play naturally.
So that's like chess. That's like chess in.
That's like chess. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't need to learn how to play. I never learned them.
Yeah. And that's the problem with Go, because like it's not like even if Go would be more popular, like it is in Asia, they don't know necessarily how the game looks like. They don't have like picture in their mind, like that they can just that they can just start playing, like they can other games like chess.
I guess Koreans might have it the best there. I think in Korea, well, at least like 10 or 20 years ago, it used to be. You actually saw Go quite a bit everywhere. Like there would be people in the park playing downtown.
Yeah, we were in
in China, and it didn't work very well, right?
We were in a Korean, yeah. We were in a Korean airport with Ilkka. We got some people watching, just because like Westerns playing Go. That was fun.
Yeah. Okay. Look at these two circus animals.
Yeah. So that was completely different to China, because like, we didn't get that much. There.
Was that the time you were returning from Taiwan?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't go that time. I wanted to go, but...
Yeah, that was a fun trip.
12 years ago. What the hell is going on?
Yeah.
Yep. Wait, this summer it's 13 years actually.
Wait, it was 2009, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 2021.
Yeah, so tough.
No, right, yeah. Yeah, my math is...
Not 22 yet, yeah. I thought it.
Right.
Let's see, did we have other good ideas here? Improve the kids' IQ. Same for kids in 60 years old. Like music or sports in Russia. Yeah, so way to appear cultured, I guess.
Yeah.
Seeing it on TV does make a difference. That's pretty big, yeah.
So just like...
How do you see Go in television in Europe? Beautiful Mind?
You get it sometimes, like that you have like some board somewhere. Like there was also some like
CSI,
police, CSI or something. Yeah, police series. I don't remember which one it was, but there was like somebody murdered, and like they saw from the board like how, like what kind of person it is or something like that. They used just that one like that. It was a nice, like it's always nice to see Go like that. But we should get more those kind of things, so like people will be more familiar about it. So
right next to niche.
Altered Carbon. Yeah, that was probably it that I was also thinking about.
Also quite a few actually. Maybe it is getting more out there.
Parseri, thanks for following.
Not quite the same as Japan, for example, where we have the every Sunday prime time. Is it from 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock on the main channel, the national television channel? There's 2 hours of Go.
Yeah, that's something. Like imagine that would be like in Finland, Yle would show like
exactly.
Some prime time
at Sunday 12 o'clock, 2 hours, just Go.
Yeah.
No way. China must have more, I guess.
Is there like in China Go in TV, like main channel or something? Prime time?
There are something like 2 maybe.
Something like
not main channel, but I remember at least at my parents' place when I just I click over all the channels and there are 2 in my mind.
2 channels which show Go all the time, or?
Yeah, show Go all the time too. But I don't think that's not considered as main anything main channels. Yeah, it's just
that's not very big. That's a kind of a specialized channel. There's also there's one in Japan for Shogi and Go. I think they do it like 6 hours at a time. Like 6 hours of Go, then 6 hours of Shogi, 6 hours of Go, and it's all just repeating old content.
Right.
Yeah.
Like title games from the 80s or television matches from who knows when.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the same thing as the channel I've seen at my parents.
Yeah. Gotta start in schools. That's a very good point, and like also like where we started.
We tried it, yeah.
I'm still teaching in school.
We did have a Go club for many years, right?
Yeah.
Almost 10 years, I think.
Yeah, so I saw Go in school and then just started playing because of it. So yeah.
Was it actually me playing already, or was it Ilkka?
That was 1 year before you came to Lycea. So.
Okay, so most likely like a Ilkka or.
Yeah.
Mikael.
Yeah, I don't remember the two players, but it wasn't Ilkka. I guess not. But yeah, I saw it played on a break, and then like I thought that they looked like candy, so I went to see like closer, and yeah, that's it. Then I went home and played like hundreds of games of Ego Win, and then went to game evening, and I was like something like 16K or something.
Not many people would do that anymore. It's a different world now.
Yeah.
Did the shogi anime Sangatsu no Lion boost shogi like Hikaru no Go did boost Go? It must have. I don't know the details, but it must have.
Shogi anime.
But shogi is more popular than Go to start with in Japan. It's like chess again. People basically know it.
Yeah, there is a new manga, I guess, about
Go. The Pair Go one, right?
Yeah.
I had a short look, and well, at least it's a Go manga, so I will not say anything more.
Have you seen the like live action? Is it Chinese Hikaru no Go?
I saw like 5 minutes, and
I've seen some like very short clips, but yeah, I haven't watched it. Like
it seems you can actually watch it for free legally.
Right.
It seems like
yeah, should watch it.
And people are saying it's actually not that bad, so
yeah.
Okay.
I guess the point is that I've seen it already, so I don't feel like watching it again. Slightly different.
Well, yeah, it is experienced like see also always the live actions, like Disney is also doing like
annoying. But that's the main selling point. If the site is annoying, I'll watch it.
Oh.
So it's kind of annoying. Okay.
Annoying.
Yeah, in the live action.
Apparently.
Okay.
Shave is saying, just get beyond the pro-China propaganda in the first episode. Okay, that sounds fun as well.
But somebody ate a gallstone? I went to the university trip, there was a party, I think Laperanta, and one guy at the party ate a gallstone. Maybe it was a magic trick, though. I didn't know at the time. It was a gallstone.
It looks like those American pastelli, right?
Yeah, they look like those. We even played with those American pastelli. Go like 2 different
you can do
colors.
It, yeah. And when you capture a stone, you can eat it.
Yeah, we did it. We went to like a store with like loose candy, or how do you call that? Like that you can get like any candy, like and weigh by weight. And there was like those American pastilles. So we just picked like 2 different colors and like filled the bags with them. And I guess we might still have them in Oulu somewhere because yeah, we haven't used them. They're probably still in university. They're one locker.
Blast from the past.
In case someone from Oulu is watching, go to university and take the candy and eat it, because it's going to be like too old. And if you need them again, you can just go like again to like store and buy more.
The boards have been spread to bars slowly. Well, that's good at least.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
We've been talking for an hour already, so maybe we might go to the main Go content I have prepared for the day. Does that sound good?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So I guess I can take the Tsumego out from here. Okay, so let's just start from this point of view. So consider a game, just any game you're playing. So quite often during a game, you have an idea what you're supposed to be doing, right? Like there might be a Joseki that's not finished, or you have this obvious framework you want to keep building, or Go, what is that? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Is it like Pokemon Go?
Anyway, pretty often you know what you're supposed to be doing, but that's not always the case, right?
Yeah.
So what do you do when you have no idea what you should do next?
Well, last time we talked about watching your opponent's good move and playing there or around there.
Did I actually mention it last time already?
Yeah.
This sounds like repeating now.
I mean, just shortly, I guess, but yeah.
Yeah, but that's, well, if it was just shortly, then we can continue from there here. So let me just open the board position from here. I think it's this one. So this is from an NGD game, or anyway, it's from an NGD review I did. This didn't actually happen in the game. I have slightly modified the game. But I think this was a Pro Series game, actually. Was it? I think it was. With comorphism, maybe. Maybe comorphism. Yeah, anyway, so here we can see that black has some corner territories, upper left corner, upper right corner, upper side is becoming black as well. Lower left corner is black, right side is black. And white has this huge thing brewing on the lower side, right? So white has just played the press at c7, and so now you're black, it's your turn. What do you do?
So
do you have an instant, obvious good idea, or is this one of those difficult ones where there's nothing clear?
Well, yeah, we have cash, so the next thing is to like limit the opponent's cash, which is like forming there. So some kind of like an invasion or reduction, or like something between like the last time we learned kind of nice attachment. Somewhere like J4 kind of more, but not in this game, I guess.
Didn't Oscar go through this in a lesson too? Did he? It's possible. I'm not sure if I was following in that case. We have a few P7s here, and then we have something in the middle, which I guess is close to Mikko's idea. Jeff, how would you look at this one? Or what would Jeff do? What would Jeff do?
I feel like black can actually relax and lay down for a little bit, not in any hurry.
So just create your own thing?
Not like that. Your eyes needs to be on this white cake. Question is how to
relax, but not too much relax.
Yeah, not too much relaxation. Yeah, because black has a lot of money. So normally, when in your pocket there's money, you're not in any hurry.
What Jeff do is getting popular now.
Hashtag what would Jeff do?
Just some shoulder hit.
Just some shoulder hit, like
J5?
J5 or L5, huh?
Yeah, probably the left hand one. Probably that is J, huh? J5, okay.
Why is it J5, for example? Why exactly?
Because there's some more potential money involved than the right hand side.
And the right hand side.
Yeah, because white has the left center wall there, right?
Yeah, I would be also afraid a little bit like that. If you do L5, then white will just give that side and take the other side, and that's stupid.
So I guess in the worst case scenario, something like white gets to close this line, and it's like a biggest framework ever, right? I mean, this will never happen, but
this would be airport.
That's an airport, yeah.
Can white pincer J5?
What do you mean pincer?
from above, I guess.
Center. Maybe like a cap?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you call this pincer, I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's
pincer,
more like cap.
I think it's usually pincer has to be on the side.
Yeah. That's more like cap, yeah.
So Jeff will just move out like this, I guess.
Just business as usual. Yeah.
Just usual business.
And white goes like, roar, I kill you.
Yeah, but that's very welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff would enjoy this one. Huh?
Yeah.
And basically, it looks very unlikely for these black stones to die. And once they live, it's like white lost his
everything. Yeah.
White lost his everything. Yeah, let's say it that way.
Yeah. So Jeff is like a little bit of masochist on board, or?
But okay, so we had many P7s here. Now, Jeff, what do you say about P7?
No, that's one thing cannot be done. P7. P7 basically you're encouraging white. Okay, you can have all the entire cake there. So
you can have
no.
the entire cake. So like this, and white will just extend and maybe honey and double honey.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's too big a cake, so you just give the cake. I mean, for this game, my assumption is the black was leading before, so maybe like this is still a game, even like this. But no, they are giving
up. It will be a close one, but it's more difficult than it used to be, right?
Yeah. I think black before that was leading, right? Because to me, black can be very relaxed in general.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But then, yeah, not like this. This you are giving up the cake.
So what I wanted to go for in general with this scenario is that if we flip this board position here around, if it was white's turn, what would white do? I mean, it's I guess it's pretty obvious, right?
Yeah, should be.
But if it was white's turn, then white would just want to make the cake bigger, right? So he would most likely play this center move from here, force black to answer, and well, I guess white might push at A, or white might play a game at B, but he might also get a little bit more realistic and do something like this, for example, just to make it impossible for black to enter, right? So this is the type of a board situation where we can say that white's next course of action would be clear. White would just keep on building, right?
Yeah.
But on the other hand, we just, well, how Jeff explained it was that if black does the same thing, or if black prevents white's obvious thing, it's still not very good for black, right? So what's going on? Isn't there this whole proverb that your opponent's good move is your good move?
Usually.
Usually, but isn't this just an exception, or?
The problem is this big is too cake. I mean, so when white is expanding this cake, white of course expanding it from the edge. But when you are taking away, you want to take down the cake, you come from the edge. That means you only take down the edge, so the main cake remain.
Yeah, so usually when you cannot get all of the cake, but you want to get as much as possible, then you just grab it from the middle.
Yeah, exactly. Don't go from the edge.
Yeah. Just take a spoon and like stick right in the middle and just start eating.
I mean, that's how you do it, right?
Yeah.
Maybe one of those ice cream scoops. That would be good.
Yeah. That's how you eat cake.
That's how you eat cake at NGD.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I wanted to bring this up here because, okay, so first of all, we have two types of situations. We have the kind of situation where you know what you're supposed to be doing. And then there's the kind of situation where you don't really know what you're supposed to be doing and you need to figure out something, right? So then sometimes it is possible that if you flip the situation around, you figure out, for the opponent, this is easy. The opponent would be doing this thing next. But it's not the case that just preventing that is good. Sometimes it's good, not always. That's just one way it works. So we can still split this into two different scenarios. It can be efficient to attack the opponent's good move directly, or the shape directly. So that would be the black P7 kind of thinking, right? But it's also possible to attack the plan or the meaning of the opponent's move. Not the move itself, but what it is going for. So, of course, if white gets to play this and this and this, then it's a huge framework, right? But we can also just imagine that, okay, this exchange is here. Now, where would black like to have a stone? Black gets to play one more. So you just throw a stone. It might be Jeff's J5, or I might say it's around here. Okay, so
M3 or...
Well, M3 could be possible as well. But basically, you want to...
That's brave.
You basically attack the plan of what the opponent is doing. Not just the move that the opponent is doing something with, but the general thing they're going for. So, okay, it looks like the kind of situation where white wants to create a moyo, or make the moyo even bigger. But if the moyo doesn't exist there in the first place, then suddenly a P7 is no longer a good move for white, right? So we can also prevent white P7 or the turn A here by kind of moving the game in a direction where it no longer makes sense. So no center moyo, no P7.
Yeah.
Does this make sense so far?
Yep. Goes together with the first go jam, kind of the same idea.
Yeah, so this is basically the kind of you could say the extended logic of what we did back then. So of course sometimes preventing the exact move is good, but this is not always the case. So you also need to you should be looking at what the opponent is trying to do on a larger scale, or what their intention is, just not the move.
Yeah.
Feels like an extension of my coaching yesterday. Go Dave, huh? That was Jeff, huh?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that Jeff is basically explaining the same kind of things, just our wording will be a little bit different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Challenge is the opponent has
multiple plans and you prevent one of them, the opponent picks the other plan. Yeah, that could happen, for example.
Yeah. That is a very good plan then, to have flexible plan.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I guess if the opponent has two mutually exclusive plans, they cannot do both of them, then you don't need to do anything, because the opponent does one of their plans, you prevent the other, right?
Right, yeah.
You're one of them. You can just do your own thing in that case.
Yeah. That's Miai plan.
But okay, so we did this basic thinking kind of thing here. So now I will, for a moment, I will just totally change the topic here. So
plot twist.
Plot twist. Yeah. What does style mean in Go? What is playing style? What does it mean? If you have an individualistic play, if you have your own playing style, what does it mean? What is a playing style?
Yeah, kind of we're somehow touching this like subject also like last time, but I try to remember what was it. It's something about handling the something about handling. Does chat remember or?
But like, for example, in the NGD Discord just a few days ago, I think there was a discussion along the lines that Sanrensei is a style, or Kobayashi opening is a style, or Chinese opening is a style. But I think that's a little bit too narrow altogether, because that's just a few stones you play, and it doesn't really affect what you do afterwards.
Oh yeah. Now I remember. It was about the comparing AI and human logic. So like the how do you say it? Like your like function, or like how do you evaluation function. So that it value function. So that is kind of like your style, like how to evaluate things. So that's very personal for you. But of course that's one part of the style, of course.
That's in general also how I like to think about it. So it's like your own personal playing style is basically how you judge the board. Because everybody judges the board a little bit differently and has different ideas on what they should be doing, what is big and what is small. So that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Do you agree, Jeff?
Yeah.
So then we can have players like Takemiya, who basically, you can say that he sees more value in the center and influence, and that's why he is more. He has more of a tendency to go for early influence in the game, or for example, or we have a Cho-Chikun who is like points, more points, and some points.
Right? Did I mention points?
But kind of in that sense.
Yeah.
And sometimes a player's playing style, or preferences like these, are obvious enough that it kind of becomes a stereotype. Just play like Takemiya. Just do the center and whatever. Just pull points and whatever.
Yeah.
And sometimes not. Sometimes they're more balanced, and you play framework from time to time, and you play territory from time to time. It can be more subtle, right?
Yeah.
But basically, what I just started thinking recently, that if we understand style as this kind of a thing, then there's not too much value to the word in the end, because it means a kind of incomparable thing. This player is like that, this player is like that, and that's it, right?
Yeah.
So could there be a second way of using the word style, which would be more in line with what you're doing at a particular moment? So I like to say from time to time that here I went cockroach style. But what does it mean? Cockroaches don't play Go, right?
Or do they?
Well, would be nice if they did.
Haven't seen enough of cockroaches in Finland to know.
Yeah, so that's also if you like fighting or not. It's also a personal preference.
Yeah.
But yeah, what does it mean if I play cockroach style? What am I actually doing? How is that a style? It's a totally different kind of style from the one that we just the personal preference kind of thing, right?
Yeah. Does it have something to do with flexibility?
Or my wording might not be exact here. It's just a way I'm trying to use the word to make sense or to communicate.
Yeah.
3 AI style identified. But yeah, so let's do it this way first of all. That, for example, if you're told to play like Takemiya, what do you actually do in that case? How do you play like Takemiya?
Well, you value center a lot more than territory, so you just go for influence whenever possible. And
if you have your own function which tells you different things than the Takemiya one, does that mean you're basically overriding your own whatever your own mind is saying and doing something else?
Kinda. And if it doesn't fit to your value function, then it might be not good idea to try to copy one some other style which is completely different.
Yeah, it's very possible in that case that you end up playing something that you actually cannot kind of pull out in the end. Like you get in a complicated situation, and maybe Takemiya would get out of it, but you have no idea what's going on anymore, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is still in general. I'm not 100% sure about this science, but it's supposed to be basically a kind of you're using your empathy skills as a human, right? So, for example, if a human tries to imagine what an angry person would do, how they actually do it is that they imagine themselves to be angry and then try to just predict what they would do in a situation if they were angry, right? So basically, kind of using this kind of a human feeling in general.
Yes.
So if it's what would Takemiya do, you basically try to use your internal model of Takemiya and how he would play and just try to do the same thing, right?
Yeah.
That's essentially how you would do it. And that's in a sense the same thing what I'm doing what I mean when I'm saying I play cockroach style. So of course I'm not trying to imagine what a cockroach would do in a situation or what a cockroach would play.
Yeah.
But there's this kind of image of cockroaches in general, which is like they're quick and they move all around and they like to live everywhere and you cannot kill them, right?
Yeah.
And they're nasty.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of a general model I try to get on my Go stones. Play stones like they're so my groups are like cockroaches on the board, right?
Right.
So it's not really like this way of thinking will give me any good moves or anything like that, but it can make my playing more consistent. I mean, it can make sure that my stones are working together when they have the cockroachness, all of them behind it. Or for example, with the AI, if you've seen enough AI, you can have a kind of a general idea what the AI would do in some situation, right? Yeah. And you can kind of, to a degree, you can try to use that. Cockroach cosplay when. Yes.
Yes. Just donate like how many hundreds?
How much? I would do it for pretty cheaply. Maybe like 200 euros would be enough. I'll do it on the stream.
200 euros. Yeah, you heard.
Wait, I need to get the costume as well. It's a little bit more.
Okay.
200 euros and the costume.
Right. 300 euros. 100 should be enough for cockroach costume. So.
I guess so. So like 300 in total, huh?
Yeah. So you heard the guy. Like, just keep the donations coming. 300 euros and we get the cockroach cosplay.
How much to do it in an official match? I'm sorry, but that's impossible because there's a dress code. Right.
Yeah. You would be banned. From.
I think the most I could do in an official match would be to have kind of those. How do you call them?
Those,
feelers or
like antennas or something. I don't know.
Antennas, yeah, that's the word. Antennas. That much I could probably do, but it would be a bit scary. But okay, so with that in mind, I actually do have this is from my professional game a few years ago. A sample. And some of you who did the Tsumego also remember this kind of shape in the lower right corner. Looks familiar?
I see.
I've seen this game also before. So this is a game I played against, I think, Matsubara Taise, 6-dan, most likely in 2017. I was white in this game. And, well, right now it's a messy position. The opening used to be good for me, and then the middle kind of... I gave black a few too many ponukis, and current situation is that I have 3 disconnected and not totally living groups here, right?
Right.
That corner is too funny. That corner just stayed like that.
Right, yeah. So number 1.
What corner stayed like that?
What's going on in the lower left corner? Actually, it's kind of interesting. So,
how did that happen?
I mean, it looks like black cannot just kill it because of outside, but.
Okay. So I will just show. So it used to be this kind of a situation, and so I just enter here, like this. Okay, so this happened first. So white lives on the left side. Black got a really strong shape around here, B9 and so on. So when this happens, normally I should like to extend here, right?
Right.
But it's risky here.
Yeah. I was pretty afraid that he would actually just go down and try to kill it.
Yeah, he will.
So I wanted to play this one first, and well, if I push now, it's still a Ponuki, right? So I cannot keep that either.
Right.
So hang connection and just connect. So the thing is that black cannot kill this group. This.
Yeah, that I know.
So simplest way would be to
just cut.
Well, I can even just extend and cut. So the outside is too weak, right?
Yeah.
So that's still in general correct at this position. So if black tries to go for it too directly, then white will start cutting, and it's not too clean. But the problem is white has 3 groups like this.
Right, yeah.
So this was actually the very game where I first thought of the whole cockroach style thing. Because
I see.
basically you have this black lower side, this whole black, the lower half of the board, which is like a huge black mansion or something.
Yeah.
And then you have these 3 white in separate places, and you kind of need to make them all live, or at least you need 2 of them to live in a big fashion.
Right. Cockroach style origins.
Yeah. Cockroach style origins, yeah. So here I just basically get the image that, okay, I'm not sure you cannot even call this living because it's going to be so painful. So it's more like you just need to avoid dying.
Yeah.
And avoid dying everywhere. And that just brought a cockroach into my head.
Right.
Free cockroach.
My whole career have been keep your stones connected. Cockroach style seems to contradict that a bit.
Yeah. So the very first important thing we need to realize here is that this maybe we can call it cockroach style or cockroach mindset, but it's not a good idea if you're leading or if the game is close.
Right. Yeah.
It's something you use when the situation is extremely bad.
Yeah, very dark times. You have cockroaches in your mansion. Right.
I mean, I'm not sure if the Finns are feeling this the same way. There's basically no cockroaches in Finland, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you cannot imagine how it's like.
Yeah.
But I came to. Well, I was also insane in 2011, 2012. But my accommodation back then was really good. It was a nice apartment. But starting from 2014, when I became insane a second time, it was this old apartment building from the 60s or 70s. Most likely, the whole sewer system of that building is filled with cockroaches.
Wow. Nasty.
So basically, the first time I come to my apartment, so there's a kitchen tap and there's a bathroom tap.
Yeah.
And so I just run some water through the bathroom tap. I go a little bit elsewhere. And the instant that there's water moving around there, the cockroaches are like, "Oh, somebody's in."
Yeah.
And like 5 or 10 minutes afterwards, there's 2 huge cockroaches in my apartment. So then I just close the tap. I plug the hole, and I never use it again. Just kitchen tap from that point on. Also, I didn't sleep that night.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't. No, I did catch 2 of them. I did catch 2 of them finally, but there's no way to know if there's any more because there could have been from before or.
Remind me never visit Japan. Well, Japan is actually a very clean country. Like
in general, if you stay away from these old buildings, it's no problem in general.
Yeah.
American or European cockroach. I mean, they have to be Japanese cockroaches, right?
Yeah.
Around this size.
Yeah, I've never even seen cockroaches, like because they don't exist in Finland. So like, or if they do, I haven't seen them.
I saw just once in Spain on a holiday, and then I come to Japan and there's 2 in my apartment. They're supposed to be the flying kind, but I actually never saw them fly. So
that's good. Imagine them flying also if they're that big and they'll just come at you. God. You have other stuff in Finland. Well, we don't have that many like bugs or anything because it's so
mosquitoes,
cold.
Flies.
Yeah, well, yeah, mosquitoes is the only thing, I guess.
I mean, if you go to Lapland in the summer, the horseflies are pretty bad.
Oh, true. Yeah.
They're worse than mosquitoes.
Yeah, that has been a thing also. Tukkimiehen tai.
Yeah,
well,
like
that thing that stuck to your skin and like you can't get it off. Well, yeah, there's like some, but like for example, we have like 3 snakes where like only one is like a little bit poisonous.
Have 2. I thought we just have 2.
Or do you call like muskets? No, that's not probably like. So 2 and then okay. But anyway, we have only one poisonous snake and like rarely any like poisonous plants or anything. So.
Yeah, and in Japan, we should usually start from the spiders. So we have the huntsman spider, which is like a kind of size, and
right.
it's out in the wilderness. And then we have the golden orb weaver, which is like this size, and you see them everywhere outside of Tokyo.
Yeah.
Like if you ever go outside of Tokyo in summertime, just look up wherever you are, and you will see some of these spiders. They're literally everywhere.
God. Yeah.
And they're super poisonous.
Yeah, our spiders are like small, and then they're like even you can accidentally eat them like a lot and not get anything. And that's poisonous as well.
Exactly. Yeah. The biggest Finnish one is the cross spider, ristihämähäkki, which is still like basically
nothing. Yeah.
I cannot be in the same room with. Okay, we should stop the spider talk. But the general idea I wanted to get through here was that Japanese think spiders are cute and useful because they eat other insects.
Yeah.
Cockroaches are dirty and nasty, and they don't even care about you. They just go wherever.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of feeling you need to have here inside this black estate on the lower side. You're not just going to make your groups live and that's it. You're going to get rid of everything. You're going to go everywhere. Black's going to have nothing.
Yeah, we were talking about Go the whole time. That was just like very visible.
Yeah. And maybe you can turn this game around.
Yeah.
Probably not, but Black will feel pressure in this way, and that's important. Be like the cockroach in the opponent's house.
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay, so typical KGS style. What's mine is mine. What's yours is mine as well. Yeah. So this happened and this happened, and I actually made the mistake of just connecting here. So now we know that this is already a small error. So Black defended, and I had to play here. So Black even got the P3 in center.
Right.
Okay, so Black plays here.
And you have to live with one cockroach also.
Well, with B4, White can live in the corner, but
we have to let the corner go.
Yeah. So Jeff has the right idea. So right now, the lower right corner is safe, and it's the question between these two over here, right? So now it's just a which one do you want kind of question. And I think I did, this one.
Which one do you want? I want both. Well, you can still use the cutting point somehow, but
actually in this game, I'm not sure if even the. Okay, I should mark it this way. I'm not sure if the A connection is even such a big mistake because A connection because B is actually valuable. It removes eyes from the right side Black group.
Oh.
Yeah. So that'll give you one extra stone there.
Yeah, so it's actually a kind of pressure. So White is aiming for this kind of a thing.
RL, you might crush one cockroach, but the walls have 10 more.
Yeah, exactly. Let them crush one, there's plenty.
Yeah.
And some of them might be dead, but not all. So Black cannot cut this because then the right side is just going to die. Maybe not immediately, maybe White does something else first, but this is a risk for Black. And let's say if Black has to connect from here, so this basically means that this is White's center, and later on maybe this happens. Or White might attach here. To get better eye shape. So there's actually some weakness in the Black shape that White is aiming for. So Black fixes like this. And White just goes even further, like, yeah, sure, I'm making eyes here, can't you see it? I got territory here, man. Because it's not just White defending, White is actually aiming a little bit for the... Well, the A cut doesn't work right now, but White stone around B will be center, for example. Cockroaches seem to like second line. Yeah, it's kind of
like crawling.
It's the line of living, right?
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
Line of living. Yeah.
Third line is territory, fourth is influence, second is eyes, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, second is eye. Yeah.
So that's one more thing. Okay, so black comes in.
3 line of living, 2 line of cockroach.
I can kind of agree. Yeah, playing like a cockroach is not like living. Cockroach is not living, it's not dying. That's
totally different thing.
the mentality is totally different.
Yeah.
It's about if you need to prove you're alive or if the opponent needs to prove you're dead.
Yeah.
Because you use the cockroach style when you're totally losing, so you need to get the opponent to make a mistake. So it's not you who has to do something, it's your opponent.
Schrodinger's cockroach.
Why is black playing inside white's territory?
Yeah.
So I just close from here, and sure, black can cut, but the stone was lost. I think black was trying to read some kind of a killing variation here. So more like this. And if black wants to keep the corner, then white is easily alive. So
what? That's impossible. Oh, it is this one.
And then we have a co-fight. But yeah, so let's say that this was not a tactical victory for white because white did many bad things. I think this is more like it was the cockroach which got black in the end. The magnificent attitude of living everywhere inside the house.
Yeah.
Go for gain. Yeah, so I think at this point, black used to be leading by 20 points according to the AI, and now it's basically even. So, yeah, black used this one for some reason as his go through it, and yeah, he played this one too. So white got to win it for free.
Wow. Wow.
Left side is fine because if black tries to kill like this, there's an eye over here.
Yeah.
But I think Katago was saying that if black just takes this right side, I think white will still fight a little bit more. Like connect. But yeah, so eventually I think white would be living here anyway, and most likely black would get this one in exchange. This type of a result. The move order is different, but and this would be a very close game. Black would be just a little bit better. But yeah, so this wasn't a technical win, this was a cockroach win.
Black's best controller's pad.
That's a good way to say it.
Yeah, that Kosovo
right.
is weird. That Kosovo is weird. What is that? C5? Why he plays C5?
C5 was most likely a bit early, yeah. Like I mean, don't you usually just play hanging connection around here?
Yeah.
So you can also kill with b4, but lower side looks different. I said I want both the corner and the middle, and Antti got both. Yeah.
Yeah, that happened.
But right, so let me try to organize my thinking. So first of all, we saw the general idea of you can prevent the opponent's tactic or you can prevent the opponent's strategy, right? And now this is coming at it from a slightly different perspective. So this is from in the other one, we are kind of preventing what the opponent is doing. So let's call that negative thinking. So here I'm kind of trying to show a way to do some. Cockroach is not positive thinking, but it's still positive in the sense that you're doing something rather than trying to prevent something, right?
Right.
And there is a way to get ideas if you have some kind of a mindset you can follow, or some kind of a if you can activate your Takemiya move generator or Jojiku generator or cockroach move generator, right?
Yeah.
So you can also create a kind of plan or a way of thinking from that. Right?
Yeah.
And for this one now, I have a second one.
Nice.
The cockroach style or the cockroach thinking has a name. This one doesn't have a name yet. So let's try to think.
Yes. So cockroach style is not just about small group per se. It means living inside the opponent's house, or like
that's very close, but I think that's not completely exact. I would like to say that the cockroach style is not dying inside the opponent's house.
Yes.
At least when I was reviewing my own notes for the game we just saw, it wasn't about living, it was not dying, and it was very particular about that one. Because if you say you need to leave, you feel like you need to do something.
Yeah.
That's not it.
Yeah.
You need to do the opposite to have the opponent not be able to kill.
Yeah.
Which is of course the same thing, but it's just a different attitude.
Yeah. Wording is important there.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So here we have a very different game. So first of all, this is in the opening, and this is also completely even. Even the AI agrees. This is completely even. So here we don't need to do anything drastic. And of course, we also see that black has lots of early territory, and white has this magnificent center,
which is doing nothing.
Huge land, or I don't know what you're supposed to say here, but
all right.
And how would you play about this one? Or what would you do here? I mean, it's not like there's just one correct answer here. So just
there's many.
Go Dave is already getting close to what I want to say as well.
Just real estate doing nothing.
That's very close, yes.
Yeah. Defend top cap somehow.
Here quickly. I'll be right back. So I'll let you guys take care.
Yeah. So defend top cap. Yeah. To me, it feels like if we just defend this area, the wall would do even less. Or how do you feel like, Jeff?
Yeah. That's instinct. And regarding the wall, the problem is the wall does something itself. So that's the difficult part. But if we defend the top, and then white will need to figure out how he will gonna make it to do something more than itself.
Yeah.
That's high stones. So high stones always, let's say, it's always the work to need to show the extra value, but that's why it works, not ours. Once we defend the top. So I agree with defend the top.
Yeah. D11.
Regarding somebody said D11, that is possible.
Just a different style. Yeah. That's leaving the hole there, but like
D11 basically means. Because black already have a lot of territory, D11 basically say it's an announcement white wouldn't get the equal amount of territory. That is basically the announcement. But that announcement we're gonna make white. We're gonna push white into war with you. So topside invasion happens right after that.
Right.
Because the white has no choice.
L15.
I prefer more balance.
G3.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did I miss something?
Well, there was a suggestion of D11, which is completely different style, but we were talking about
G3, no.
And we agreed with Jeff that we would like defend the top side. I don't know about L15, which was also suggestion. They were like probably like something more solid, I guess. Or
L15 maybe. But
thanks for
long livety cockroach.
Long livety cockroach.
We're getting closer to the next target.
Thanks.
Thank you for the €5. Every euro counts.
And Oscar is here also. Hi.
Hello, Oscar.
Hi.
Yeah, talking about cockroaches and real estates.
I didn't actually see that before, but it makes kind of sense, yeah. Houses and cockroaches.
Yeah.
But okay, so let me just say that this is a kind of board situation where there's nothing extremely urgent going on, right? There's I don't think, not for black, not for white, there's a single good obvious move next, right? So it also means, on the other hand, that whatever you pick here, most likely you're not going to make a big loss, even if you make a mistake. So you can just do what seems good for you. And secondly, also, I think D11. What was the defending the upper side? You had some idea. L15, of course, but did you have something else?
G16.
Yeah, G16 would be like
G16
more solid.
And G3. I think all of these are practically equal according to the AI.
G3 is fine too?
G3 is also fine too, yes.
G3 is fine. I wouldn't spot
Which
G3.
is the game in question. This is a modified version of a game I played for training. Just slightly modified.
Okay.
But right, so basically any kind of normal looking shape you can play here. You cannot make a big loss because if it's a good shape, then what can go wrong?
All right, yeah, and if it's even game, then yeah. Right.
You just glossed over that, but not being able to make a mistake when there is nothing urgent sounds like a really profound advice. Yeah, I guess it's profound, but it's also kind of illogical, right? I mean, very often if you have several good move ideas and you really have no idea which one of them is the best.
And then it's usually like that they are very similar choices.
Yeah, exactly. So you're having trouble choosing exactly because they're similarly good, right?
Yeah.
So especially if it's a quick game, if you have just like a, I don't know, 60 minutes or 40 minutes basic time, you don't want to spend 10 minutes over there. Similarly good moves. That doesn't make a difference anyway.
100%
or 99. You
99.
just pick the move that you like more and you go for it.
Right, yeah.
Or, for example, if you have two similarly good move options and one of them looks nice and clear and simple, and the other one of them looks kind of it leads to a complicated game, and it would be a pain to have to think about all of that. Generally, you want to pick the complicated way.
Right.
It's because inside your thought process already, you're kind of normally you're lowering the value of that choice because of the pain that it is when you have to think it out, right? So most likely it's going to be difficult for the opponent as well. So in that case, you would just ignore that one, go for the difficult one, because it might be better. At least it's not going to be worse anyway.
Yeah.
So pick the difficult.
HK Shadow, thanks for following.
But yeah, also, so now we covered that basically anything that Black does here is kind of fine, as long as the shape is good. Here's the new mode of thinking that I wanted to show, basically. So earlier we had the cockroach style of not dying anywhere. And this might just be my impression of this situation. But to me, the general the white wall on the right side and whatever white has in the center, it kind of feels like to me, it feels like a factory. Like you just spent a huge lot of effort of creating something. I mean, that line of white on the right side, that can maybe cash in the future. But before you can cash in from it, you need to have an idea of where it can create the territory, and you cannot even see that yet because the board is so open. So it's like a factory, but you have no connection to the market. You don't know what is your target customer group or anything like that. You just have the factory.
Right, so it's like a startup factory or something.
Something like that. And on the other hand, here we have 3 black corners, and then we have the upper side. So black is already cashing in a lot. Black is like let's say black is already in the market, and it might be a smaller factory and whatever, but they're already selling and making a profit, right? So now this is a kind of a time contest, right? The game will end at some point.
Yeah.
And how should black try to win this, let's say, selling competition? Whoever sells more. Do you go to the opponent's new factory and try to make it not work when they have just finished everything and it's nice and tidy? Or do you just keep on cashing in?
Yeah.
Because I would totally just go cashing in. I cannot see how the opponent can even make they have so much work left to do, so why should I try to what they're doing?
True, yeah. So just take your own cash and you already...
Yeah, so I will just do like this and let the opponent try to do their marketing work or whatever.
Yeah. Has bought lots of penny stock.
On the upper side, and white still has the trouble of what to do, anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure if the analogy here is a good one, so maybe there's no good term for this.
Extend your
maybe
factory.
Somebody else has a different impression of what's going on, or a different comparison. That could be. You could think of it as like education as well. Like I don't know.
Yeah, we have talked about education before also.
And university, and White has a doctor's degree, and White never did any work so far, right?
Yeah.
And it's a competition to see who is making more money, who has made more money by the time they're 30.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if 30 is the end.
Yeah, Black is going. End, right? Black is going in as a car mechanic, and White is taking like a PhD, but he doesn't know where to use it. And
yeah, exactly. So Black has been working ever since he was 16 or I don't know, 18 or something, 12 years altogether. And White is starting at, let's say, 26.
Yeah.
If 30 is the limit, nobody should go for the PhD degree.
Okay, so 35?
Yeah.
Because that's also something that we don't really know, because we don't know when exactly this game is going to end. What's going to
happen.
Right.
But also, like for example, if the situation is up to here, and then Black is all of a sudden, oh crap, this center looks big, I'll throw a stone here. So now it feels more like Black was like, oh, I need to get more education, back to school.
Right.
That kind of feeling.
First working as a car mechanic, and then suddenly taking some like philosophy classes or something.
Really cashing in, and wait, that didn't work out. Let's go to university.
I started PhD at 29.
Way to think about this. I think I also said this. It might have been today's review, actually. The review I made for NGD, which was basically first you have thickness, then you can make. So thickness is like the white wall, for example, that kind of perfect connected shape. Kind of get weak, right? We call that thickness. Yeah. Thickness can make influence if you can create a kind of box-like shape that might become territory in the future, right? And influence still becomes territory. So basically, perfect influence is territory. Influence that cannot be invaded anymore, right?
Right.
So just the fact that your opponent has some really nice thickness doesn't mean you need to do anything about it. Because the opponent still has to turn the thickness into influence into territory.
Yeah.
So you can, for example, just wait until the white moyo is there, and then you just live inside anyway.
Yeah, so thickness
you're not in authority to do anything.
Thickness is a PhD, but like it doesn't have even like a work opportunity. He doesn't have any company which is interested in his
exactly.
Like to take him as a worker. Yeah.
Astronomy, for example. Yeah. Good luck getting employed, right?
Yeah.
White's PhD in biology wants the Black's cockroaches. Yeah, sure. What makes education useless? Communism. But communist style. But also communism is like moyo, because everybody has to work together. Yeah. But the comparison is different, because this is more like a kind of like a nation is working. But yeah, this Black looks more like individualistic to me, because it's all territory for myself in separate applications.
Yeah.
Communist style. Yeah, that term was taken already, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Don't get the communist metaphor. Yeah. Jeff, can you explain?
Oh, gosh. Okay.
Yeah, so let me just, I don't know. Is the Sunrun say good? I'll just
do the... usually communism is different. Not in this case. It's this case it doesn't work, kind of like, because we already have the other explanation for it. So.
We also do that.
In my and Jeff's terminology, this is a communism.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also do that.
I mean, you also did the honey. already.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah. Anyway, so here, right?
Okay. Yeah. So this is. Yeah. So basically, we say everybody in the community or in the society working together to serve for one single aim. That is communism. And here it is. Yeah.
Yeah, so you cannot call, like, for example, Sansan now, because like that would be individualism.
Then you are hurting the community, the whole society's interest.
Yeah.
So for example,
you
let's
have
say
to
white
serve
players
for
are
him.
here, and now you go for territory all of a sudden, right?
Yeah.
So by the communist logic, this black invasion in the upper left corner would they would basically
You're gonna hurt.
They would be just getting profit for themselves, but
Yeah.
they would be hurting the original black nation on the right side, let's say.
Yeah.
Because white is getting stronger in the center here, and that in turn will limit what black can do later in the center and on the right side.
Yeah.
So this is Muyo is kind of communist style.
Yeah.
Sansan is qualifying for some re-education. Well, to me, Sansan is just grabbing early territory, right? It's like getting employed immediately from your elementary school, kind of.
Yeah. 3 comrades have strayed from the path.
3 comrades. Okay, but so that was actually exactly 1 hour of Go theory. Do we take a break and do something lighter for change?
Yeah. So do I put the video on and let's go to the toilet and stuff like that, and or that kind of break or something else?
I mean, we can do a short that one as well, but
or just like in case you need to get a break. I don't have to go at the moment, so
I actually went earlier, so I'm fine. Jeff?
Yeah. So we just continue. Yeah. So yeah, where were we? We still have something about AI probably, or you had some points also.
Actually, the communism talk is still being
still going strong. Communism.
Opponent's deep invasion to Moyo is a counter-revolutionary spy. Needs to be expelled. But yes, so the last main content I have prepared for today is I thought we could have a quick look at the game against 9P I played, but we could have a short break before that, just a general chatting and so on.
Yeah.
Maybe questions from the audience at this point?
Yeah.
Okay. Question time.
Open questions about anything. Don't have to be communism.
Well, Jeff did study politics, right?
Yeah. Can be also about that one if you like to.
Preferably Go related, yeah.
Yeah.
Can be Japan Go or I don't know, anything. This game is nothing special. This is just it's from my training game and it's been altered a little bit.
Yeah, we were just talking about communism, or like, not communism, but like, I don't know, education and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'll put the Tsumego back actually. Maybe that's less confusion.
True. Yeah. So like, you can solve that one and talk about anything if you have any questions.
Maybe change also the text up there.
True.
Question time.
True. Question time. I totally forgot that I have the subject there.
Oh, it's less confusing. It's not.
Questions.
Who publishes the most Go books every year? Japan, China, Korea. It's got to be China, right?
Likely.
I mean, just by the Go population, there's most demand there. China has most people, most Go players. If we're talking per capita, then I'm not sure anymore.
I still remember when we went to the bookstore in China, and they were like Go books and the is it like Komoku or what? I don't know what it's called in Chinese, but like the five in a row. Those books were like just next to each other, and we had to like go to Jeff and ask if this is like about Go or five in a row.
Yeah. It's the right game. But it was also surprising that it was just normal, slightly larger bookstore, right? And there were like rows and rows of Go books.
Yeah. Like big rows full of like Go books and five in a row books.
Each one was collected problems and whatever.
Yeah. What is the Chumeko question? Chumeko question is just black to play in both.
And they're not even both life and death problems.
Yeah, they're just problems. Yeah. Yeah, we thought they are like life and death problems, but yeah. No,
Go books in Japan. In Japan, if you go to a larger bookstore, you might find one bookshelf, which might be divided between Go and Shogi. So it's just around that. So usually you just go to a Nihonkin bookstore or a used bookstore.
I was solving why to play 1 or 2.
Seems like the change was a little bit abrupt, so we don't have too many questions yet. Let's see if we can figure out something. What's going on in Europe with Go recently? I guess the British Congress is starting just now, right?
Is today.
All right, yeah, the online Congress.
Now, right? Oh no, sorry, in an hour.
In an hour, huh?
I believe so.
So some people are actually preparing for it by watching this.
So they play cockroaches in their games.
Not in the opening, please. Not in the opening. Just when the situation looks bad.
Right away.
Infest everything.
Is anyone in chat now that is going to play there?
I'm guessing there will be several. Yeah.
Nice.
Pros already, yeah. Less than 8 groups is a loss. How many did I have in that game, actually? I didn't
Less than 8 is a loss.
I'm pretty sure I've won a game with 7 groups, I think. That's probably the best I got. It doesn't happen too often. Proverb says that if you have 6 groups, one of them is dead.
Yeah. Is this a trick question? Are you asking about the one or?
One of the Tomego is a trick question, yeah?
Yeah.
I tricked myself as well.
I remember correspondence games that can that had like 5 groups each after the early game.
They'll get fun.
But yeah, any other questions? It can be anything about like pro life in Japan or stuff like that.
You did cover a bit of last time, so I guess that's affecting here.
Yeah. And the video that you posted, or like not you, but what was it? Like.
The Nihonkin video.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it interesting?
Well, there was nothing new, I guess, but like it was fun.
It's like the same questions always, right?
Yeah. Why do you play Go?
Can't be helped.
When you started.
And also the game review in the end, for which I didn't really have a lot of time, so.
Right. Yeah.
had to quickly.
Yeah, it feels a little bit rushed. Yeah.
Yeah. Like literally, was it like 10 minutes or so? Maybe 15.
Nongshim Cup coming up. How do you think EMA will do?
Nongshim. What kind of a tournament was that? Is it a Blitz tournament?
Yeah, from Japanese term, it's called a Blitz tournament. Yes.
So it's like 1 hour again.
I don't think it's 1 hour. This is. I think the time is very limited. It's not 1 hour.
1 hour Blitz.
Let me see.
But that's going to be a little bit tough already because the Chinese and Koreans have more tournaments like that, so they're more used to it.
Okay, the last period of Nongshim Cup, there will be 2 players from each country. Actually, Japan is doing fine at the moment. Yeah, so there's 2 players each, which means Japan is still in play. I didn't know about this.
Is it Ichiriki, the other one, or?
Ichiriki, yeah. So yeah, those 2. So I think it's pretty competitive.
Could be fun, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there is a good question.
Twitch channel in the future to broadcast some pro games. I guess the problem is that Japan doesn't do Twitch.
Yeah.
So it would be not Twitch but YouTube channel, which is possible.
And also, kind of like a related question: is there any way to watch pro games from Japan with English commentary?
With free or cash? Well, if you join the newsletter, you can get my own commented games commented by me and played by me whenever I play games. So that's one option. But yeah, it's not live. It's SGF files with comments sent to you later on. So maybe not what you're looking for. So there would be some demand for that kind of a service, huh?
Sure.
That's interesting.
Yeah, there's not much pro game commentary in Western world.
Yeah, let's say I would like that. Let's say the English commentary about the Japanese pro games game. Yeah, I would like to see that.
I can bring that up with the Nihonkin actually. So I think maybe it was last Wednesday or Thursday, I was at the Nihonkin and I was talking a little bit general things also. And the overseas section actually was asking me if there could be some kind of a, I don't know, online videos or whatever, or promotion. So this might combine with that. I might be something. Or not, I'm not promising anything, but I will look into it.
I understand, yeah.
Paduk TV, K-Paduk, Nihonkin having YouTube channels at least. Yeah, that's good. We have we're getting more and more like content, of course, but like yeah, still not like very like official or central or something.
You're trying to go between Jeff and Antti.
Blind game. Do you play blind go like often? For example, in a car or something, or do you do that anymore at all?
I mean, didn't we used to do it?
We used to do it, yes, but
Swedish Congress or
yeah. But do you do it anymore or?
Not very recently, no. Not that kind of experience.
So you're not like hanging around with other pros in some like a bar or something and playing.
And just playing blind go.
Blind go, yeah.
When the pros go to a bar, they don't want to think about Go at all. They will do anything else because Go is work.
Right, yeah, understandable.
It's not something like, oh, I have free time, I'm walking outside. Go.
Right, yeah, understandable.
That's kind of like you're a programmer and then you
free time like
you're walking and then it's like, oh, let's study some Python here. While walking.
First like program for 8 hours and then like free time programming and then another 8 hours.
Yeah, it's a bit different.
Right.
Do you all play Riichi Mahjong? Oh yeah, we can play.
Yeah. Now?
We play the one in China.
Mahjong stream. That would be something.
Win the fourth player.
Yeah.
We won't have Commons literally this year.
Well, it will be after like the situation is normal, so it can take a while. But
yeah, so it means next year.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Do you think Japanese younger pros have adapted well to AI style as compared to Chinese or Korean pros? I guess the problem is that I don't know too much about Chinese or Korean pros, but I can say that in Japan it's all over the place. Like it's all AI style now. Yeah. Kind of boring to be honest, but that's the new meta.
I thought it's
yeah.
A good point about the subtitles also, like they're just solely like that when you are talking about the idea of English content to Nihonki, just also subtitles would be already great. If you have already some content, just English subtitles would be nice. That would be already enough.
Translation work is also slow.
Yeah, sure.
Jeff was saying something.
I wanted to say regarding to Japanese player and AI style. Let's say recently I have a hobby that is let's say when I have some free time, I just go to Fox and actually Onishi, he is actually playing against fine art all the time with two-stone handicap.
Nice.
Yeah, and I think he has played a few hundred games already. And he probably won like less than 20.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Two-stone.
Yeah, two-stone handicap. Yeah.
Wow.
But he kept playing.
Nice.
That's like to me that's like banging your head against the wall repeatedly, hoping to get stronger.
Yeah.
Eventually my skull can take it.
Hi, Luna.
Yeah, Luna missed some cockroaches.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
Yeah. What's what for cockroaches?
Real estate agents.
Muay Thai training? What is that? Is that banging your head to a wall or?
I like roaches. You're the first.
Nice crunchy roaches in the morning.
At least make it. How do you call sirkka in English again? I forget. The ones that we had a fad a few years ago, right? Eating bugs. Did you try any, Mikko?
Right, yeah.
Like a sirkkaleipä and...
Yeah. But
what is that called? What is that insect? I don't know the English.
I have brain fart also. What is that?
A cricket.
Cricket, yes. Thank you. Yeah, crickets in like in food, for example, like flowers or something like that. Cricket flowers to make bread.
It was so weird. Like just like 2 or 3 years ago, it was like everywhere. Like they were making these cricket farms and so on.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Now it's kind of a color. Yeah. You don't see it that much. Yeah. Because that was like a thing that like it will be the next like protein like replacing meat or whatever. But like I guess that idea of eating insects is still like too much for people. So I guess that's the thing why it went.
Did you try any, Jeff?
No.
I don't think you even heard about it, right?
I tried some snacks or something. I don't remember which one were they. But like
me too, like chili flavored or
right. So of course they are good. Like especially if you don't know like that there is crickets there. Like you would totally eat them. But just like a idea behind it is not like very comfortable. So
yeah,
I want to think about it. Okay.
But yeah, cockroaches are not really, they're not clean, let's say. Lots of bacteria and everything, not good for eating.
Did they have to change the law? I don't know about that.
They had to change the food law, around 2015 or so. So it didn't used to be fine to actually sell insects for people to eat. The law was against it.
Right, yeah. I tasted cricket bread. That's just like normal bread. Yeah, I'm pretty sure like many of people wouldn't even recognize anything if they just eat some.
The Foxtrot one, it was just a little bit heavier somehow. The dough in general, but
just some proteins. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like replace soy protein with crickets and
Can't tell the difference.
Yeah, no, nobody would notice.
I guess we've covered the current questions here. So unless there's new questions soon, so it doesn't roll over your face.
Yeah.
That is a big plus.
Soy is already dead. Doesn't move.
So should we go for the 9 done game in that case?
Sure. That's
my first 9 done victory.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think Jeff said something like that game Jeff understood compared to some of the other ones I played recently.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Is it this? Wait, that looks weird. Is it this one? Okay, yeah, this is the one. So Jeff also mentioned earlier, but the Japanese standard for blitz tournaments is a bit different. This is a blitz tournament.
Right.
And by blitz we mean 60 minutes each with a 1 minute Yomi.
So that's a weekend tournament, normal tournament.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a slow weekend tournament, right? It's not even
it's not even quick.
Games per day. It's just 2 games per day.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's blitz. So non-blitz would be 3 hours.
Right.
It's normal. I was black in this game.
Oh, 2, 3 threes.
Opponent, I guess, I don't think anybody in the audience will know him, but the opponent is Fukui Masaki, 9 dan. I don't think he had any titles or anything, but he's written quite a few books, and at least on the teaching side, he's a little bit more famous. Jeff also knew his name, right?
Yeah.
When reading. So.
I will put the names there on the subject. That's a good idea. So Antti versus like you were black in this one, so black.
Yeah. And just write Fukui maybe.
Like F-U-K-U-E.
Maybe just a 9p is enough actually. Antti versus 9p.
Japanese 9p.
So anybody in the audience know this Josuke?
Looks like a windmill.
Windmill out there, yeah. Mikko, do you know this one?
I have a memory that like I have seen this like ages ago, but like I don't remember like seeing it in a real game.
So this is basically one of the newest AI fights, you could say. So one of the Josuke that's in right now.
So then I haven't seen it. So yeah.
This has some very complicated follow-ups. Like for example, I don't even know all the variations. Like for example, black might play here, and is white supposed to jump down here? Jeff, do you know? And I think it's something like black attaches here, and white does this one, and maybe exchanges this, and
I don't know this much in detail.
So it's this kind of extremely complicated corner fight with liberty and so on.
Oh, we have some people in chat who know this. So.
Yeah, so most likely Jungo Seng Dojan will have done several lectures on this. But anyway, the point here is that I usually hate playing these kinds of fashionable Josukis because many people study them in detail, and it's like there's 30 different variations, and they're all 30 moves each. And if you don't know the right variation, make a stupid mistake, then you lose the game there, right?
Yeah.
And I don't really like studying all those 30 variations that nobody will anyway remember them after 2 months,
right? Yeah.
Because then there's the new variations.
Right.
So most normally, if something like this happened, I would just extend and jump, and this keeps the game simple. And instead of relying on the variations I have memorized,
Yeah.
I can just use my general knowledge of the game, right?
Yeah.
But just this once, the opponent is a 9-dan professional whose playing prime has probably gone away like 40 years ago, who is in his late 70s and might not even have a computer.
Right.
So how about fighting Joseki, which you have definitely seen and thought about more often than him.
Yeah.
So here it makes total sense for me to go for it, right?
Right.
Even if I don't really like it in general, we're still playing for the win here. And this is not a studying game or anything.
But he might have a fax. So prepare faxing.
Fax AI.
The funny thing is that fax is actually used in Japan still.
They use it in America as well, but yeah, it's all over the place. Just imagine that you have like AI facts every minute, every second, there's new paper with updated numbers.
Right.
That would be silly. Not playing Go, playing the opponent. Yeah, you could say that. So I played this one, which is one of the simpler variations, but still requires some, well, still difficult to read, basically. If you don't know what's supposed to happen. And the opponent used 10 minutes here out of his 60.
Yeah.
So that's a success already, right?
Right, yeah.
So he jumped here, which is a possible move. I moved the fight out, and I think this was supposed to be a small mistake, according to the AI already. I think most likely it was this one, and kind of try to carry out the fighting. But most likely also he wanted to kind of finish this sequence quickly. So he attached and clamped, so as to not have the fighting get more out of hand, let's say. And we get this outcome. So I had seen this before and marked this as a good one for black, but it's not like white is terrible either. So I just knew that, okay, the opponent used 10 minutes and I have a slightly preferable result. So totally good, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not like even the result is not perfect or anything. Like white might play here, for example.
Yeah.
So
it looks it looks quite fragile. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not like black has a complete outer wall or anything. But if white plays here, black can just play elsewhere as well, or black can cut here and at this point do something else.
Yeah.
So it's not like black is forced to keep on answering immediately. So I think he invaded here, pincered, and he just.
Oh, sorry. Sego had a question earlier, like about like what would you do as white to avoid the mess? I guess in the Joseki.
Joseki. Yeah. So the modern variation after this one is for white to jump from this side.
Yeah.
So the Joseki is black attaches here, so white clamps, kind of a liberty TCG. That goes down, and then it's just a kind of trade like this, and the sequence finishes here. Totally even.
Yeah.
So you would still play the lean?
Play the lean.
You mean the?
So for example, if black came and played this one.
Yeah.
I might not play the. I guess press is the right term here, but I might not play the press in the first place. I could. I might play elsewhere immediately. That's of course always possible.
Yeah,
but on this board, there's not anything too much going on, right? So then I might just I don't know, play a 2-space jump. have black answer and I don't know, maybe pincer.
Yeah, in case you want to play simple, just play simple. Don't even try to play first something complicated and then just select a simple variation or something.
Yeah, exactly. No need to go there in the first place.
Yeah.
Even if everybody plays the press, it doesn't mean like you have to play the press, right?
Right.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. So if that's Seiko's question, I prepared white R14 to play against someone who likes the pincer. Yeah, that's possible as well. There's a huge number of old Joseki variations, which are still not so bad. But yeah, so basically at this point of the game, I realized that this white plays exactly like the kind of game that I also like to play.
Yeah.
I mean, he went for 2-3 threes in the opening. He took one more corner in the upper right corner. And now he's kind of just like leading in the middle so that black cannot get a moyo or anything.
Yeah.
So there's like cash. No, you don't have a moyo. I guess Jeff likes this as well, right?
Yeah.
In general. Yeah. So, well, just play normal. Jeff, do you also play P3? A little bit slow.
Yeah, I wouldn't play P3 here. I mean, yeah, because sometimes it's small enough. Yeah, I'll play Keima.
You play Keima, okay.
I'll play Keima.
So a little bit kind of balance, right?
Yeah.
It's not like this will be dangerous or anything.
Yeah, it's normal.
Yeah. Most likely, if it's me, I would go here, but...
Oh, okay.
But anyway, cannot be a big...
do this. Like this, basically, it means white will have too little territory everywhere. Too little.
Later on, actually, black might peep here. It's a little bit annoying. Like,
yeah.
Extremely small one. But yeah, it's still the opening, so I play the press. Business as usual. White picks one side, I go for the other. And once again, he's not familiar with the AI openings, so he doesn't know how big this one is. This came up basically, in most cases, it has to be played immediately, even if the left side is not too interesting. So if white instead makes shape over here, well, of course the shape is good, but the black press is really a nice one to get. Have to go prepare for PGA. Game is on Kifu newsletter. So
yeah,
if you have read that one, then you won't miss too much. Push out from here. Turn is center and white tenuki, and descent is this is the thing. So what's going on in the corner? White needs to answer, right?
Yeah.
Looks like so.
Because if he doesn't, then black's going to place like this. And this is just like a cleanly dead. Okay, so white has to respond. How? So he cannot play this one because there's still the honey.
Right.
All the Atari stuff and so on, right?
Yeah.
He cannot play this one for maximal territory because there's the monkey jump. So he basically has to play
B2 or C2.
Which are basically,
right.
Yeah, so B2 happens in the game.
Right.
So finally, it's a pretty small territory. It's 6 points in the corner.
Yeah.
Or B7? Is that possible?
Well, he might play it. Black could actually play C4 immediately, but even just like this, you're still not alive.
You still have to answer. So yeah. So yeah, do we want to change B7 for B9?
Yeah,
C9.
Just outside.
Yeah.
So for this reason, actually, just as a personal general rule, if I get in this position as white, I will play this honey connection immediately, because now the white corner territory is kind of optimal, and black has some cutting points on the outside. So black probably fixes, and white gets center. But there is still the problem that you're making this early exchange, and it's also your empty triangle. So you want to avoid this if possible.
Bad empty triangle. Avoid it at all costs.
Empty triangle, bad empty triangle. Usually just bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, so when this happened, well, I played the cap. But anyway, at this point, I checked the AI. It says black is 8 points better. And nothing really happened so far, right?
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, during the game I knew that black was a little bit better, but it's not like it's not like it's obvious or anything. So it's still a long game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of advantage that you can get if you're familiar with modern opening theory.
And you also know how to use them afterwards, like that kind of like influence over there.
I mean, I didn't, so this game became very bad for me. But,
yeah, but let's not talk about
that. So I can play this double cap here because I'm aiming for the. I want to play the A shoulder hit to kind of start building the center.
Right.
But it turned out that the A is actually not so interesting for black after all. So this will backfire quickly.
Right.
Instead, most likely, black should have played like this was my second idea. So play this one, threatening 03, have white answer, and well, for simplicity, you can just play around here.
Yeah.
Slightly more directly from the center. Most likely, if you ask the AI, it's going to be like a peep and peep and peep. and then Tenuki finally. And like answers. Yeah, I got everything. Yeah, just not play Kema here or something.
Right.
But if you don't have an AI churning out the numbers that this is the best thing to do, I kind of don't have the confidence to play like this. Right, so white comes in, of course. Black takes a shape point. White goes for right side. Black enters the lower side. And then once again, I give the opponent a Ponnuki. That's never a good idea. Cut. I mean, at this point, it looks nice, right? I mean, black is cutting white. Looks good.
Right, but you lost something on the right side, and the lower side is not that big because of that M2 triangle, like a tiger.
Well, mainly the question is, what does black have on the lower side? I mean, of course, the fact that white has the A Ponnuki makes the lower right corner very strong.
Yeah.
But black can still play at B, and that stone's still not dead.
True, yeah.
So it's not like white got a big territory yet. That was my point in the game anyway. But so white plays this one immediately, and I still didn't realize it at this point of the game. My plan all the time was to play this one, this Hane, but it doesn't work.
Right.
White can cut here, and actually the white stones are not going to die. And it's not a very short sequence, and I didn't have too much thinking time, so I hadn't had time to completely correctly. Cut was surprisingly severe. And this makes the game a bit difficult for me soon. I just played this one first. Hane here. So I fixed the upper side. So white also makes the lower right corner territory like this. Now I go for it, and now it's still bad.
Oh.
So white cuts. Of course, if white simply plays this kind of a thing, I move out, and that's not good, right? And if white plays this one, I had read that I can attach here. Even if white plays in center and here, I can play here, and black still wins this fight. So like this one here. So for example, do we throw in? I think my reading was this and this and this and this one here.
Right. Not too many liberties.
Exactly off by one, but just enough for black.
Yeah. Nice throw-ins.
But white doesn't start from there. That's the problem.
Right.
White plays this one first. So we know that black has played this one. White wedges.
That's annoying. I see.
So black cut from this side.
Yeah, has to
then you have that. Yeah.
This will get super busy.
Right.
Play from the other side. White connects. 2 cutting points in the center, but well, actually, according to the AI, black should still just connect. So white can play here, and black sacrifices the 2 stones. This is correct according to the AI.
Okay.
This is correct.
Yes, and of course, for humans like you, this is terrible, right?
Right.
No, I can't take this.
Yeah, because it's like a black constellation prize on the lower side.
So this was correct, like all the way from the L2. But AI would do the L2 and this.
Yeah, I think that's correct. From that point on, it has to go like this.
Okay.
I seem to recall.
So AI would also play L2. Like AI would also play L2 and let white cut.
So L2 is problem because white can do that. So locally it's correct.
Okay, good.
So.
Good.
Yeah, and then
yeah.
But so it's also terrible.
Right, yeah. That is, yeah.
So not having read all of this is the original problem with giving this Ponoki.
I see.
Yeah.
So now that we know all of that, obviously black should just play here, right? And cut white.
Obviously.
Obviously, this was correct.
Yeah, as we can easily see.
Perfect. So let's get back to the game. So I couldn't stomach the other one, so I saved the 2 stones, of course.
Yeah.
So we get this and this. White captures 1 stone here. And the original plan here was to play A. In my very, very original reading, when I was considering the threat of white B. I mean, basically my core rating from C on had come to this point, and it was like, yeah, I can just play A here, and white is totally not alive.
Right.
And then I kind of figure out that if I do something like this and fix the shape, white turns here, black still tries to attack, white moves out, and it's more like black is dying here, right? Not like white is dying.
Yeah.
So that's finally the image I get at this point. So no choice. Need to reinforce the center, and white lives.
Right.
Tesuji. And black has nothing left. So after this one, I think now it's a slight lead for white, when it used to be 8 points for black.
Damn cockroaches.
That's
No, this is not a cockroach game. Well, okay. Cockroach later on. It's still early. The center is brewing.
Right.
So the next obvious thing, of course, is to try to profit from the white A group, right?
Who is white? That was Fukui something.
Fukui 9 dan, yeah. Not anybody too famous. Still a strong 9.
Fukui Matsuki, or do I remember correctly?
Masaaki.
Masaaki. Okay.
Masaaki.
Okay.
Yeah. So white plays some forcing moves here. Second line attach, normal stuff for living, right? And of course, I'm not going to just let him live with points. And this one, yes.
Sure.
So technically, if white connects, black can play here, and white cannot form 2 eyes, directly anyway. It will not die, of course, but this way, white will feel some pressure. So he attaches. Forcing moves here. Turn. So white can leave at any point, but white doesn't want to play here, right? I mean, that's the last move white wants to play. So the talk is about white trying to avoid that. This. And, well, the original plan was to extend here, to basically keep on building something in the center and to force white to live with E16. Now, what is the problem? Why cannot I play here? I really wanted.
That means like a nose Tetsuji?
Well, no, it's just because of the opponent we're gonna take money to live.
Yeah. The opponent will first play here, and this move is Sente.
Yeah.
So if black tries to kill, white goes down here, plays Hane here. White cannot be connected. Black cannot be connected. Atari.
Nice.
GG kind of thing. So in the original reading, again, it was this one, but I didn't have the time to check. I realized at the last second that E18 is going to happen. I couldn't take it. So I cut. And white gets this Hane with that kind of black group in the center.
Oh no.
This kind of dumpling, right?
Yeah, very nice.
Extend. Okay, that's Sente. Hane. How to make shape. Push. Jump. Not beautiful, but it's working.
Yeah.
So then finally white settles the group like this. And cut here is kind of center, since black's getting this cut in center would be too big. So. Okay. So center exchange is done. I guess we can say that black got some territory, but white still has to lead. This result could be much worse for black. Yeah, it could have been much worse. And strategically, most importantly, now this white stone here in the center is more or less dead. Or at least black is not too afraid of it moving out. As opposed to how the situation still looked at, for example, at if this happened.
Yeah.
In this kind of a game, it's still an actual threat if white starts moving out. So that's something I got at least. So what's up next? Now it's time.
I still have to do that.
Yeah, so it was kind of lucky for black actually that white didn't play this extension, which is the correct shape on the right side earlier.
Oh.
This leaves totally no AG. This one, okay. Cockroach time.
Nice.
No choice about it. So now the point is not to live. The point is not to die.
Not
right?
to die, yes.
Yeah.
Or not to get killed might be even better.
Yeah.
So here we go. Plenty of annoying moves around A9 and so on. So white blocks. Locally, I think locally white black still cannot form two eyes exactly, but there's a cutting point, so we go for it, right?
Go through the walls, indeed, like a good cockroach goes.
And like we were of course both in Bioimi at this point, so the reading might not be totally exact here. But like for example, if white directly goes to kill off black, this kind of a thing happens, and this cutting point over here. So it feels a little bit fishy for white as well. And even if white might be cleanly dead, black might be cleanly dead, but even like then, if for example this happens, black might be getting some territory in center. So it's not totally straightforward what white should be doing.
Yeah.
So white connected here. Okay, this is just a center move. So now I go to leave in the lower right corner. This and this and this. And because there's a cutting point, white has to connect. White has to connect. Woohoo! Alive.
Nice.
It's terrible. It's still terrible.
It's still terrible, yeah.
Yes. Because now the thing is simply that white can cut here next. So like.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. This happens. Maybe white extends, and okay. So black plays here, and black is again. Yeah, this is cockroach driver again. But then white plays here next, and the A stones are just gone, right? So it's kind of like the territory that white originally had in the lower right corner just moved into the center, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But general good thing about this whole cockroach business here is that it makes the game longer and it keeps you having to read, right? And I actually got the opportunity here. So white played this one, going for these stones. Well, basically with this move, these stones are captured.
Yeah.
But what white didn't realize at that point was that the right side white group is not connected to anywhere. I really think he forgot about that. Because around this point of the game, he was reacting like, wait a second.
Whoops.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think when the game gets to this point, now it used to be like white winning at 12 points or so earlier, and now it's again black leading here. The key point when black got to play the P12.
Damn, this mansion is big.
That's just way too big. It's connecting and cutting at the same time.
Yeah.
One roach spawns the next one.
Too big mansion.
Yeah, so now white is forced to live here. So of course, when I play this honey, white has the ABC capture here, right?
Yeah.
But I will just let those stones go because the right side is bigger. So right now, white has to live first. Okay?
Yeah.
And white can live. Do you see any problem with this? The T13 stone is surprisingly valuable, isn't it? No, it's not even
coal. No, that's not coal. That's not coal.
If you capture, black plays turret on the other side. If you go out, black just connects.
Right.
Yeah, that's not coal.
But I didn't do this yet because even now it's coal if black doesn't do anything. So I just fixed the center.
All right. Yeah.
White plays here, so then I take it. Most likely at this point it would still be better to fight the coal because black could save a move. But at this point I was so sure that I got the game in the bag. So my hands were shaking and I was just like, please go in the right intersection here.
Right. I'm beating 9 done. Keep it together.
So then white plays forcing move in the center. Left side is the last open area, but okay, forcing moves here. I just defend.
Right.
And that's basically the game. I will just show the final position. So here, most likely white was trying to fish for some kind of this forcing moves around A and B and so on. So trying to get a Atari mistake or something. Just defend. So finally here then, white resigns.
Yeah. Nice.
But yeah, kind of blitz game basically. There were too many ups and downs and big mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I say I understand this game is mainly this game I can see a lot of European tournament factors.
Yeah. Very similar kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Blitz game.
And the 3-hour game from the previous week was just way deeper, right?
Yeah. That's there's too much reading there. Yeah. That's why
it's starting soon. Good luck to everybody who is playing in the Congress.
Be the best cockroaches.
Be the best cockroach you can be.
Yeah.
That's kind of a story. GD cockroach at midnight. It seems to be a meme now, I guess. A new meme.
Yeah.
Can we get an emote or something?
Sure. We need just a few more subscribers.
Let me see. Cocky booty. Is there? Oh, there's one. Here we go. It's a
of course
small,
there is.
It works. I guess it has to be more of an infestation or something else. It's more like this.
Right, yeah. Liked the opening.
Oh, that kind of opening is 80 points difference.
That was 8 points, yeah, according to Katago.
That is
how much did White lose by letting you get E2 though?
E2 was a pretty big factor, but I think this move was correct according to the AI, and I think the main thing was this Tenuki was too early, so it was just had to be
just this one melee.
Yes.
So it's just too big of a shape point.
Yeah, okay.
So Gokiburi Yu is my invention. I didn't hear for anybody else. I'm the first one to use it, I think. Probably. I don't know for sure about it.
Right, so E3 is a mistake and D6 is a punishment, or?
No, E3 is normal, but white just has to answer it this way.
Oh.
And then just black plays something normal on the lower side, like a could be extension, for example.
Okay. How does anti-strength compare to the top European pros? Are the down ranks completely as they are?
I mean, the gun ranks don't really make a difference.
Yeah. And I guess we got this question earlier also, and like because you haven't played, so you like have
and there's no way to play immediately. We need to wait.
Yeah. Kill it with fire.
You can lift most kilogram. Yeah, I'm not in shape that way. But yeah, actually, for this corner Josuke in general, I usually, if I'm white, I prefer to turn instead. So with the turn, this black counter turn is hard to play because this white shape is just too good, right? Or it could even be the Hane. So black will jump, and now white jumps. And then if black plays here, white will just go elsewhere. Or white can even enter the right side if he wants to.
Okay.
There's a kind of problem in the corner.
Yeah.
You can start this two-step go from here. But so it's a two-step go, so it's very difficult for black to win. And also, when white ends up winning it, white has gotten these 2 stones for the price of 1 move, right? And also the Sea Liberty. So when black loses the ko, he actually gives up quite a lot.
Yeah.
Why does white jump G3 instead of poking C5 there? Well, it's possible to poke C5, but it just means that black will get a stone in the center. So this makes white F3 a little bit less interesting, I think. I would rather go here immediately, and if black doesn't do anything, then I will like a pincer here. Like this, it's easier to get an attack on black. If this, then we can just take the eyes. So in my eyes, usually the C5 for P7, F7 is a kind of bad exchange for white, in my opinion. Little territory for center influence.
Yeah. Any more questions?
Yeah, that came out.
Yeah, the Keima is a little bit somehow lacking power. It makes the turn easy to play.
Yeah.
And if black doesn't like the turn, then he will just play elsewhere, right? It's not like there's anything urgent.
Wow.
Cockroaches and cavemen.
Thank you, Marcel, for 10 euros. Thank you.
Ooh, thank you.
And we still are waiting for like the bot for the next Go Jam. So in case you are in your monies that you can lend us a little bit, you can help us to like have a third Go Jam in case you like these streams. Donations are still open after the stream also, and yeah. In case we get enough, we can get the third one.
8 points around here, yes, as Oscar is saying. For the next Go Jam, do you think we could figure out a date already? Might be easier if everybody knows when it's coming.
Sure. If you just get enough money to do that.
Assuming there's
yeah.
enough.
Yeah. But we can still like put the date already there, so like that is like the last date that we can collect the monies.
Sure.
So next week, of course, is the NGD lecture, so we cannot go on top of that. But the candidates would be March 6 and March 20, I think.
So
for me, they're both open.
Yeah, both are fine for me also. I like so.
Yeah.
Is 6 too early or like?
Yeah, if 6 is too early or not.
Yeah, that's the only
be exactly in 1 month. Might be in 1 month. Might be better balance.
Yeah. I guess so. To keep them more special and give more time to like gather like ideas and stuff like that.
Yeah. So let's, for the time being, say that it's going to be on the 20th.
Yeah.
If everything works out.
After all, this is also taking like a full Saturday. Full Saturday kind of in the middle of Saturday. So like having them too often is like quite heavy also for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the next one is in exactly 1 month, so we can like have enough. Whoa!
At least from these first 2 times, that seems like a kind of a good balance, right? Once per month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Seki. Thanks for €5. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for the kind words. Yeah. So now we have also like plenty of time to also gather monies for the next one. So I'm very positive that we will have it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Great to hear.
Yeah. Thank you for everyone joining. If you have any questions, you can still post them. But
last chance,
that's kind of like last chance. It's now like exactly 3 hours that we have been live. So yeah.
I was kind of surprised actually because I had roughly divided 3 topics, and it was like 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour.
Yeah, that was kind of nice. Yeah. But yeah, in case there is no other questions, we are going to wrap up here. Check out NGD, which is going on at the moment. You can join anytime and like play as many rounds as you want.
Pairings are made at the start of every month on the 2nd day, so it's getting to a good timing right now if you want to play in March. So a little bit over 1 week, there's going to be a new pairing.
Yep.
Do young pros know most of the old Josekis? Good question.
Stuart, thanks for following.
I would guess that Japanese young pros know more than Chinese or Koreans, because in Japan there's still a bit of a more culture of, for example, checking Shusaku skins and so on for training.
Oh, that's
so
nice.
They should be more familiar.
Traditions.
Please join NGD again.
Yeah.
But it's not like all young pros know everything. There's no need to know, for example. It's more like curiosity.
Right.
Yeah.
So probably to some degree would be the correct answer here.
I guess I probably know more than most of the young
guess
pros.
So. It just comes with age, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Because a lot of useless stuff I can't forget. They are clearly useless.
Need a delete button in the head.
Yeah.
I don't need this Josuke anymore. Nobody plays. Press delete.
I guess it's still some kind of experience. I mean, like you wouldn't delete it if you had like a chance, right? Or like if you had like if you had like technology to like actually remove that from your brain, would you do it?
No,
I will do it.
I would delete it.
Yeah, because let's say I have used those useless stuff, they become an option, and that's a burden when I play games.
Right.
So
Okay.
you would.
Because,
wow.
yes,
Okay.
I still do. Yeah, sometimes when I'm sleepy, then or let's say I'm not very energetic, I play a game, I just automatically go back to the old way of playing. You know, not necessarily old, just like old opening, and then I realize I'm behind, or sometimes I don't even realize I'm behind. Yeah, nowadays when I play, I get the yummers. Yeah, yeah, it's not a good option. Yeah, to stay there.
When I watched Shusaku's games, I ignored the Josuke, but somehow I picked up. Yeah, it can happen if you see it enough. And it's also kind of interesting that Shusaku's games are actually, well, the games from that era in general. It's mostly just the openings that are at fault. The middle game and the end game is still generally very solid. So most of the content is very good for studying.
Yeah, for sure.
I haven't deleted this half of the database.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that's it.
Wrap up here.
Yeah. Check out YouTube. I posted like earlier the first Go Jam in like a kind of like a TV show episode, 45 minutes length. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue those because like I guess like people enjoy different parts of the like streams anyway. Some of the people want to see like very detailed like game review. Some of the people want to like listen only the part about the philosophy. So it doesn't like it's kind of like I'm cutting everything off. So like it just leaves like a just like worse version of it. So like I'm not sure if I'm going to continue like doing that, but I can still gather like some things from these to like some compilations about any topic. So yeah.
Yeah,
for example,
those are really good in general. I like them.
Yeah. So like for example about cockroach styles or whatever. Like if you have like some kind of ideas of those compilations, I'd rather put like my effort to those rather than like edit these core jams.
Cockroach style deserves it.
Yes. So yeah, those can be found from YouTube, and then Discord is the place I usually post about like the notifications and stuff, like if I'm going to stream. We just finished yesterday the very beautiful puzzle game Manifold Garden. Like I guess like many of the Go players can like appreciate how like simple and beautiful and mathematically like awesome that game was. So if you are interested in those games, check out the board and like come on like Wednesdays. I'm playing nowadays more often some other games.
I joined just now.
And then what else? NCD I already mentioned, and YouTube and Discord, and yes, that's it. Thanks for everyone who donated and followed and stuff. Was in Manifold Garden about Manifold Garden was about like, well, you can see the word, but like it was about like putting boxes to like different platforms, and like it was like very similar to like what was the game about, like the other game. It's kind of like a line drawing world 3D, and like it loops forever, and like you put like different color boxes, and you can twist the gravity to like if you have played like for example VVVVV, there you can like turn the gravity upside down or something. That in that one you could turn the gravity like to all the 6 sides, and all the 6 sides have like different colors, and you can move different color boxes. So that kind of thing. But yeah, I'm not going to talk about too much in detail. You can see the board if you are interested. But yeah, we are going to finish here. Let's see if there's anyone to raid. And then we go our separate ways.
Many raids, huh?
And most of them are the BTA.
Like Go Dave was going to stream at least, right?
I don't see him there.
Yeah.
I see many BTA though.
He's
Well, Luna just started
in 1 hour.
Like PGA. That's one possible.
Also Siku.
Seku is also there. Armored. Yeah. Should we go there?
I don't know how to pick.
Well, Seiko is our mod, so I would like to prefer him over others, just because he's like what giving a little bit back, that he's like very often here supporting the channel as a mod, so support him. So yeah, let's go see Seiko's PGA tournament round 1. And we will see on Friday, the usual time, I guess, the next week. Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, with Jeff. And Wednesday with other games. So, yeah. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.